Now is the time for Nemesis. Now is the time for Orange Juicers. And a big question mark always is, can a team beat a team again? Can it happen twice? For whatever reason, it's always hard for the team that sent the team down to the losers bracket to beat them again once they come up and meet them in the grand finals. Maybe it's momentum, maybe it's time to just pick apart their strategy, maybe the team that's on top has been kind of sitting on ice for a little bit. Whatever it is tough to beat a team twice, and Orange Juicers needs to do that to Nemesis.
They have to. We're looking at Nemesis right now. Rex, LGC, the player to look out for, of course. Metallic, Asinable, and Yeet Fan. And I literally, in that game, too, when we were watching Nemesis in that last Ray fight against LG, I literally kind of popped you in the chest and said, that's the Yeet and LGC that I'm used to seeing. And Trainer and Yeet, again, really delivered for the team. And it was a whole collaborative effort, but I really feel when Yeet and LGC are on, it ripples through the rest of the squad. Without question.
Now we're taking a look at the team making it through the winner's bracket here. These are the Orange Juicers: Kratos, Machizzle, Zagrog, Flareons, and Roland. And you know, when I watched this squad go at it earlier, these two squads go at it earlier, I felt like Orange Juicers was really in control of that series. It felt like it was not a surprise they were coming out on top by the end of it. It felt like they had it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think part of the reason is what we just saw on screen. Kratos popping open the draft Bible for the Orange Juicers squad and just kind of executing plays and things based on the notes and information they've gathered throughout this season. And it's proved to be amazing for them as they sit on the winner's side of this grand finals.
You know, I'd like to think that under that mask, he's got an even bigger mustache.
Yeah,
I'd like to think that there's some real mustache stuff happening with these two team captains.
I will say I showed Rex a couple things he could do in the camera with the mustache.
Showed mustache tricks?
Yeah, and he has used none of them, which is kind of devastating because we've had a lot of positive opportunities for it.
Yeah, I felt like you and I have been hanging out quite a bit. You've never taken me aside and showed me any mustache
Your mustache
tricks.
is better than mine. I can't.
Whoa.
I can't
have
you raise the bar twice on me.
Here we go. Our draft for the grand finals. Orange Juicers, your purple team. Nemesis, your orange team. As we are starting with our bans, Cramorant being banned away. Immediately, they do not want to deal with Yeet's Cram.
That's a great call. Cram has been solid all day for whomever's hands it's fallen into. Taking it off the board is great, and Leafeon no exception either. Umbreon also getting a lot of love and ban priority as well. And finally, somebody's taking Phalanx off the board.
I can tell you, backstage here, Wonder Chef, right after that match, was saying, why aren't people banning Phalanx? What are they doing? This thing is an absolute monster. I'm paraphrasing. I think he was even more intense about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was in the face of its hardest counter in the game.
Yeah.
Giga Drain, Petal Dance, Venusaur. Phalanx is just literally built different. Quickly, Zug grabbing the tree. That's where they put their priority. Asinable says, give me the Crustle, and they're locking in Sylveon as well. Yeet had a great Sylveon game in Game 2 against LG.
Yeah, we've got some insanely good Sylveons out here. We're going to see how the Juicers want to play this. We have the Mew pickup, and I could see them possibly worried that maybe Yeet's actually not going to be the one on Sylveon, and they need to steal that away as we see Roland locking in the Hoopa. Hoopa is, of course, just such a force, the macro god of the game.
Yeah, not only great in general, but I want to say specifically, and I think Zoinks called it out earlier, Rex leveling up their Hoopa game, and it looked very good in that last matchup. Trainer looking to make a statement, though, hovering the Zoroark. Is that where we're going to end up? It is.
Yeah, and that's a pretty huge statement. I mean, Zoroark is massive. We almost had a Gyarados for a second there, but it looks like they're moving over to the Blaziken. Couple of final picks here for the Juicers. They can't really steal away this Comfey if that's what Nemesis is looking to do here. They've already got a support, and that would be a hat on top of a hat, and only Dodrio could wear that many hats.
Even one more, in fact. Rex, we'll see where they... Oh, let's go, baby. All in on Nemesis game 1. Can't stop me.
Yeah.
Little gentleman's in play.
Here we go. I mean, what an exciting pick here for Nemesis. You could imagine a Comfey coming out, but no. Instead, they bring out Sableye, the Disruptor, the Backcapper, the most sneaky Pokemon in the game.
The sneakiest one.
The sneakiest one, without question. Who even comes close in terms of sneakiness? It's not even close.
Nah, not even close. Some might say A seal, perhaps, can be pretty sneaky, but there is no seal in Pokemon Unite. That's why Sableye holds on to that title. Rex, very, very good Sableye player, and the confidence that this team has in them in Game 1 of the Grand Finals, fighting from the loser's side, cannot be understated. You mentioned it before, Japan stonks on Sableye or to the moon. Is Rex going to prove that here in NA?
Yeah, we're about to find out as we're getting ready for our first game of our Grand Finals. Our team's loading in right now. The future of this tournament is in front of them. Will Orange Juicers hold on to this victory from the winner's bracket, or will Nemesis come back, reset this thing, and make a huge statement here as we get ready for our first game of the Grand Finals?
Got to get this thing underway. Purple team, Orange Juicers are there. Nemesis sitting across from them with Bull Gentleman.
And here we go up into our top path. We have the Buzzwole Hoopa moving across the map, as well as the Sableye. We've got a little bit of a central area invade happening as Sableye is looking to see what they can find. They spot the Hoopa right away and run towards the Buzzwole.
Yeah, a little bait and switch. You thought it was going to be an invade. Once Rex saw that Hoopa was going to be there, they actually pivot up and put good pressure on Machizzle, so Machizzle themselves can't really advance.
And here we go, Buzzwole up in this top path, just getting some of the more safe experience in this top path, getting all the wild Pokemon it can. Metallic looking for something as well. They know Sableye's around, not exactly sure where, as that's an easy secure with the Fell Stinger for Machizzle.
But what Rex's presence has kept them from doing is stacking. So now Machizzle is getting glutted with Eos energy, and they can't quite get their stacks on, not as efficiently as they'd like to.
Yeah, and here we go down to the bottom path. We have the Dodrio coming down here with that brand new, beautiful Hollowware. We've got the Hoopa portal that can send them up at any moment. But here we go, Buzzwole coming down to the bottom path. Asnable in some trouble as 4 members of Orange Juicers are down here in the bottom path.
Asnable has to babysit this thing by themselves. They'll see what they can do in the face of 4. It's going to be tough, though, as points are already into that goal zone. It's down 58 points. Flareon's kind of caught in the Rock Tomb. Doesn't really matter. Immediately, Trainer with Rex in their pocket are across the way, going to grab all their stuff. And look at all those stuns on Roland so that Trainer can clear and grab the buffs.
And this is what we were looking for from Trainer and, of course, this Sableye together, right? You were looking for these massive combos. Already level 7, dominating the rest of the battlefield here, heading through that central area and just taking everything that was Orange Juicers.
I mean, they grabbed everything from Kratos. Now we're just getting knockout on knockout here as Asnable, who's fighting outmanned in the bottom path, finally gets taken out. But the work that was done for that KO to happen against Asnable was miles to the advantage of Nemesis.
Yeah, absolutely. Nemesis looking great here, taking everything from the center that they want. We almost have a level 8 on this Zoroark as we're just continuing to feed Trainer. Trainer's going to get bigger and bigger. Metallic as well, hitting that level 7, looking for the KO on Roland, and they take it.
They actually have a berry populated by them by Roland to grab for themselves if they need to. Rex still carrying double buffs, Spraggles.
Yeah, Rex still has double buffs, obviously Trainer as well. And we can see Sylveon coming up to this top path, also with buffs from their own central area. They're taking everything from Orange Juicers.
They just caught Kratos again on engagement with the Rex. Kratos immediately has to peel back. And now Nemesis is taking control wherever they want on the map. Buzzwole down.
Buzzwole going down as they're pushing onto this goal zone. Hoopa's in some trouble right here once again. Points raining in. Goal zone broken, moving towards Regieleki, and it feels like every fight is coming up. Nemesis, they're in complete control. Leaving Metallic here at Regieleki. The rest of the team peeling down to the bottom path, seeing if they can make it to that bottom Regi in time.
They're going to try to, and there it is. It's quickly taken by Orange Juicers as soon as we show up there. But credit to Asnable. It took a long time for them to knock it out and did buy enough time for the team to theoretically get there. Couldn't quite secure, but not a big deal. Nemesis is feeling good and putting pressure everywhere on the map. Rex going straight in, wanting all the information for the team that they need. We got Woodhammers coming out, charging up the overheat. Nobody is rolling through that portal here, but look where Kratos is. They're on the backside, caught in the Rock Tomb. Nice by Asnable, and that's going to be a clutch KO by them. Buzzwole picks up, puts down. 2 players down on the side, and Nemesis KO streak of 2 for the Buzzy Boy, but now the Machizzler's going to get caught here. Can they sustain? Can they withstand this attack? It's going to be close. Can Machizzle turn the script, flip the script? No.
No, Machizel's getting pushed away right here. Mew coming in with the coaching, however, and now Machizel picks up Aznable, picks him up, slams him down, somehow possibly making it out of this almost 0 HP, but the coaching was the savior right there from the Mew.
Flareon's one of the best coaching users when they pick up Mew. Very adept, use it very well, and make crucial plays like that. But Machizel going down to LGC, or even worse, Aznable, would not have been a good look.
We can see Kratos here, I mean, just having to run from this Sableye constantly, looking for big fights, but at the same time, you just run into the fear from Sableye, you run into the stuns from Sableye, as Sable's looking to make a play here in this bottom path, head towards the central area of Orange Juicers now with this Zoroark. Zoroark waiting in the tall grass for an ambush.
Yeah, and letting Rex lead the charge a little bit. They've sussed out Kratos. Can they collapse? Oh, Machizel is right there. Charge up the overheat, put the damage in. They get Kratos down, and now Machizel's caught. They get buckled too. Metallic making their presence felt with a big old kick to the teeth.
Yeah, Trainer heading back to base right here, just resetting as this Regieleki is ready to get taken once again by Nemesis. Score zone very close, but it feels like every fight really has been in control of Nemesis. Up in this top path now, Dodrio coming in, trying to make some work happen here. The big knockup on the Zoroark pushes them out, and the Electro Ball picks up the KO on Sylveon.
Trainer making it back to their side, able to grab a couple berries so they don't get knocked out, which means they'll be able to hold this goal zone for at least a second. But we're popping the rings unbound, rolling with the stuns here. That was already used to bring everybody up, and now they're going to use to siege the goal zone. Aznable goes straight in with an eject button X scissor. We're resetting. We get the Trevi Knight coming out as well from Zug. Oh, they're sitting on the pad. Trainer caught on the backside. We're dealing tons of damage here, but Yeet is back with tons of HP. Machizel trying to put them back into play as Rex is running away, and they get KO'd by a solar beam from way downtown.
Way downtown, and now we have a possibility for Mew to score here. They decide to take it 223 to 98. Beautiful plays from the Mew on the side of Orange Juicers. That's Flareon's picking up the Mew. A lot of players kind of abandoning Mew after some recent nerfs, not Flareon's, bringing it out here in game number 1. And a game that was dominated by Nemesis now seems to be swinging the other way. Orange Juicers taking a ton of great fights.
Yeah, they've stalled a little bit with that great advantage they were able to pick up from the start. Zug moving in here, but the overheat will get the secure. Of course, the solar beam attempt from Flareon's didn't quite get there. But for Nemesis, that's just like, okay, thank goodness we got that, because things aren't really going our way right now. We need something to stabilize.
Yeah, they need something badly here. Obviously, they have that tier 1 goal zone up, so there's still a way that they can kind of even up this score, but it still wouldn't get there, right? Nemesis behind by over 100, which is a scary place to be for some of these teams. It means that if things go right at Rayquaza, but you're not able to take it, you could still be behind.
Moving back, not even going for the reset. I was going to say, Zugrug's going to dodge that reset. I thought it was pretty calculated for them. We are under 3 minutes, Spraggles, and really, scoreboard lead, Orange Juicers. Level lead, Orange Juicers, but just by a little bit, Nemesis has an opportunity to close that gap.
They absolutely do, and it looks like we have them positioned up here at Regieleki. Nemesis is in a great spot. They have a ton of information. Sableye is finding out exactly where Orange Juicers are, and it looks like they are nowhere to be found. They could possibly be running to score. Crustle being sent back to the home base for that very reason, and now Orange Juicers actually making their way up top, and it looks like they're hiding in the tall grass, waiting for a big ambush. Let's see if they can find them.
That's the advantage of Rex, though. I mean, moving through just by Sableye, you get that notice that there's maybe at least one player there. Now Aznable needs to get out of dodge. We've got 10 seconds till Ray, and getting caught here is not good.
That's right, 10 seconds until our first Rayquaza of our grand finals. Dodrio zoning out this Crustle, as you see members of Orange Juicer with some aggressive positioning here at the Rayquaza pit. They are tapping Rayquaza while Sableye runs to score. This is going to put Nemesis not up, but very, very close. 223, 198. No one deciding to start this fight. Dodrio in some trouble right here. The Unite move might come out just so they're able to get away from this, but it looks like they have been saved. No, they haven't! They get caught by the Sableye!
And now we've got a potential back cap. LGC actually peels back from it, realizing this is going to be a problem. They're actually going for the Hundo Burger score. But now everybody's been pulled to the middle by Orange Juicers. Are they going to do anything with that? Zugrug is there, and Yeet is still standing. Machizel goes for the engage on them, but the Rubble Rouser is going to get the stun in. Popping that Unite move by Machizel. Can't still close the door on Yeet. Draining Kiss back the other way. Machizel's still standing no longer. The lead is in the hands of Nemesis. They're up by by 70 and some change points, and now Orange Juicers has the pressure on them with 1 minute left.
Yeah, Orange Juicers needs to make a play here, but it's not too far gone. They have a Unite move on the Dodrio. However, Zugrug getting caught right here, needing to take the hyperspace hole home, and we're going to see how Nemesis wants to play this fight. Less than a minute on the clock. Yeet's in trouble, caught by the Dodrio. The Unite move goes right back the other way, but they are not able to take down the bird.
The Electro Ball chase down actually keeps LGC from collapsing on Kratos the rest of the way, who's going for a back cap score. We're into the middle here. Asin will seize 3 ahead of them, make it 4. Rex is just hanging out there trying to see what kind of work they can do. Hooper gets the KO, Rayquaza's starting to get hit, but Chisel's on top of it, so is Zugrug. Flareon's and Roland are all there. Now Zugrug's going out to space. LGC coming back in for the smoke, though. Rayquaza gets in, LGC darts in. We're charging up and overheat, it's getting low. Secured by LGC! Trainer is the difference! And now Nemesis has a chance to really blow the doors off this thing.
We talked about how they underestimated Orange Juicers here. Well, it doesn't look like they have here in game number 1. Nemesis, the points are going to rain in. They're looking to score. The plan to take Rayquaza, it looks like it was a little half-baked on the side of Orange Juicers. They were trying their best there. And then they decided, oh, maybe we don't want this. Maybe Dodrio can score. Then Trainer runs in and presents this really unfortunate situation for the Juicers. They're going to need to figure out how they're going to out-secure a Blaziken and a Zoroark, and they were not able to make it happen. We have a great win here for Nemesis, but they're not elated. Job's not done. They got a long ways to go, but they plan on bringing Orange Juicers out to where they want to play, dragging them out to deep waters, which they're gonna need to do because Nemesis has to take them down here, and then they have to reset this whole thing in our grand finals and do it once again. We've seen it happen. We saw it happen last NAIC.
We have. Now, and Zugrug is actually on the Orange Juicer side, is actually the team that was like, okay, this can be done. But again, Nemesis has been the most consistent team 2 years by CP in NA, but they have no hardware to show for it. I think Nemesis as a collective needs to rally and make this a statement win for themselves.
Absolutely. They want this win. They want this championship more than anything. Taking a look at our bans here. Cramorant, Umbreon, Leafeon, and then we have this final ban once again. Phalanx is not making it into our grand finals. I think teams are starting to really respect this Pokemon. Some of the big picks, of course, coming out. We've got Hoopa once again, Trevenant. We're seeing a very similar setup here, right? Crustle, Sylveon. Now we've got the Blaziken on the side of the Juicers.
And Metallic is heavy hovering that Lucario. Trainer, great Scyther player, maybe Zoroark. I mean, literally, it's the world's your oyster at this point. Welcome to Nautilus. Locking in the Zoroark again, and why not? Rex pivoting up and snagging the Comfey, and that's what the kids call a problem.
Yeah, the kids are always calling that a problem, and the kids are right in this sense. Zoroark, Comfey, an unbelievably powerful combination, even though when we saw it earlier from Luminosity, Overlord Zoroark, one of the most famous out there, it wasn't as devastating as before. I think a lot of teams are figuring out how to play around this combination. There's one other Pokemon that they might need to worry about, and that's Tyranitar.
That's a gutter
rolling through in the gutter.
Look, I don't want to say how big brain I am, but I've said this is where you pick Tyranitar. It's not first, it's not in the middle, it is on the orange side, last pick, because you have all of the information you need to know, is Tyranitar worth the time investment that Pokemon needs? Nemesis looks at this and goes, yep, chick.
Well, I mean, there are some really interesting options on the side of Orange Juicers to deal with Tyranitar. And first of all, you've got Slow Beam on Slowbro, one of the best shutdown moves in the game. However, you also have Zoroark on the other side. They've set up a really great situation for themselves, Nemesis has, because you've created 2 massive slow beam targets. Do you take down the raid boss Tyranitar, or do you take down the Zoroark with the Comfey collar? It's such a difficult choice because the other one being up could be disastrous.
The good thing is that Nemesis set up for themselves is we already know Trainer LGC can go off the reservation. It doesn't actually need a heal support to have them be impactful on Zoroark. And because of that, you never know if the Comfy is going to be riding LGC or picking up Metallic and going in and creating kind of the Megazord that's going to run through your team. Orange Juicers has a lot to think about. Their communication is going to be critical because they have to be able to prioritize these targets quickly and then execute on that call.
That's exactly right, and it's going to be tough for them for sure. However, we've seen teams dispatch Tyranitar today. To be fair, a lot of them had stronger early game compositions, which we really don't see here from the Juicers as we head into game number 2 of our grand finals. Orange Juicers, your purple team. Nemesis, your orange team. Nemesis 2 wins away from resetting this bracket. Orange Juicers needs to shut them down so that they can win these grand finals and become your champion.
Roland going on the invade here, and Zorua is an easy one to bully for sure. Rex, we already know, is in the top path. However, that is secured by LGC. Roland going to populate a berry. Is somebody going to grab it? No. Okay, we're hitching a ride. Rex is here, and Roland is now up against it. Dropping their slow smoke is Rex. K-opener to Nem.
That's right. Nemesis picks up the K-opener. A fun fact about Tyranitar, it currently only has a 46% win rate and a 62% ban rate here at NAIC and in the final stretch.
Very counter to Phalanx, which is finally getting banned, which had like, what, a 14% ban rate and a 75% win rate across the regional finals and the final stretch as well. I mean, those are crazy statistics, and glad we're finally seeing Phalanx find its way on the ban list.
Yeah, I mean, it has been incredible here. Big plays from Zorak, just wiping through all of those wild Pokemon and picking up a KO on the Trevin. Of course, it has the Comfey, and it's continuing to dash in, looking for another KO.
You are going with Hyper Voice here. Zorak in deep waters. Trainer's going to have to try and get out. Kratos is on the chase. The ugliest Pokemon on the planet, Combustion, can't follow up. So the Electro Ball is going to sort out Yeet. And Trainer here now just ready to take another buff if it would have populated.
Yeah, Trainer actually able to make it out of a very difficult situation with the help of that Comfey and some very tricky maneuvers. Combustion almost picking up that KO with a beautiful Blaze Kick, setting up something massive, but not able to make it happen. Trainer's still here and picks up the KO on Mew.
Well, here come Azimuth will try to just shrug off Zugrug as they want to get more points in. Azimuth has an opportunity there going through the burn ticks here, so they can't quite get their points in. However, they might get knocked out as Roland's kind of being persistent and relentless. Zugrug cutting him off from the other way with the Scald build of Slowbro, and Crustle just too thick.
Crustle way too thick, making its way back. It looks like possibly its Focus Band had to save it right there. Trainer going in once more, looking for another KO. And there they pick it up. Another one from you.
And now Trainer intelligently not hitting Roland there so they could pick up the berry from them. They just back out. Very intelligent and silently Metallic level 6. That is not where they want them, but at least they've been able to find value in other parts of the map.
Yeah, that's not exactly where they want this Tyranitar. You're 100%. But at the same time, they're doing pretty great when it comes to this Zorak Comfey, so I think they will take it here as the points are heading into this top goal zone. Really nice stuff. And another KO for Trainer.
Yeet now getting the pressure put on by Roland, and finally we have a KO back the other way. We get the BOGO deal. You get the Zorak, you get the Comfey for free. Now Metallic, just a paltry poopy tar, has to sit on pad and try to defend this thing because there's a lot of juicers around.
Yeah, now Regieleki getting chipped up here by the juicers. It looks like they're going to send this towards this tier 1 goal zone right here, and once they do, they're going to have to decide how they want to score this. This is going to be 20 points into the goal zone, and then a possible 40 more if Blaziken decides they want to score in the top path.
They're actually giving up that top path goal zone so the Metallic can go through the central and get to Tyranitar as soon as possible. Overheat comes through, but it's Trainer LGC on Zorak, baby. Is there anything else to say? Registeel's getting low. Now Kratos is getting gapped a little bit. They're going to have to reset. Registeel itself is resetting, but this is just more time into the hands of Nemesis to get this Tyranitar going.
Yeah, this Tyranitar is almost online here at 6 minutes. They need it. There it goes, just ticking over to 9, and we're going to see how Nemesis fights with it. They've been fighting pretty good without it, so I'm worried for the Orange Juicers once this thing jumps into the battlefield. It will be doing that in just 1 second. Big time Sand Tomb and the Secure on the side of Nem.
And the securing the KOs too, popping the Comfy Unite, so there's tons of HP in the tank, and they're all over this goal zone. They're smothering it like chicken. And now more KOs for Trainer LGC. I feel like I'm stun locked into that phrase.
Insane stuff. I mean, Trainer is on an absolute tear right now, just putting on a clinic, while at the same time, we now have Tyranitar online. Level 10, heading to the top path. Things are looking bleak for the Juicers.
Metallic being level 11, having caught up completely from all of the work that the Juicers did, keeping that Tyranitar down in the early stages. The game is gone, and now they need to find a different way in. A KO on LGC would be a heck of a way to start, but Nemesis not willing to play ball.
Yeah, Nemesis doesn't want to take this fight for this moment here. They're just ready at any moment to jump in with a massive Sand Tomb. Obviously, the Juicers know this as well. They don't yet have the Slowbro Unite to do something about it or the Zoroark currently, so they are in some trouble.
They are in some trouble indeed. Trainer LGC moving through. Kratos has a good target. Metallic pops the Tyranitar Unite, and they're trying to be beasts moving from east to west and see if they get on the goal zone. No, they actually just settle back down and wait for Yeet to show up to see if they can backdoor them a little bit. Hyper Voice is there, enough to space out the Juicers, and this Regieleki just hanging out, wondering what it has to do to get some attention.
Yeah, and now we can see they're moving in Trainer once again, but now getting caught by that slow beam. This is the counter that we talked about. Big time Scald on the Tyranitar as they're pushing forward, picking up a double KO, turning this thing around, another Scald, and here comes Mew looking to get some damage with that Electro Ball. Sylveon up into the air. Sylveon getting hit by a massive Solar Beam, and now Nemesis has to run away from this fight.
The fact that Yeet was still standing though, and yes, they gave up some KOs, again, they purchased themselves some time. So in all of that, the Juicers now are still fighting. They're using Unite moves. We just saw the Rings Unbound as they reset themselves, go through, and now LGC is back, picking up a quick KO, but they're getting real low, stunned out and put down by the Hoopa. Regieleki's on the verge and taken by Zugrug, and now Nemesis is wondering, what is the problem with our mid game?
Yeah, and here we go. They're walking forward. That looked like it was going to be a pretty decent fight for Nem, but at the same time, as soon as that slow beam hit the Zoroark, things went very, very badly for Nemesis. And this is something that we have talked about. Nice secure here for Nem. No one in this bottom path. However, in this top path, we got 50 going in this goal. Huge overcap for the Juicers.
Very well done to keep this thing closer than how it's felt up until this point. And we know what the recipe for success is, and it's exactly as we drew it up. Prio target, identify quickly, execute, and then move to the other target, right? Pick one, everybody collapse, and then focus attention somewhere else. That's how they got that big KO on LGC to begin with, and immediately got Metallic right after.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, Pokemon in Pokemon Unite don't become any less useful when their HP is low. It's only when you knock them out. So prioritizing a high-value target and, you know, taking players down one by one is an amazing strategy.
Right now, Metallic carrying the Comfy, and that's something we need to have, you know, kind of keep track of as we get to the late stages of this game, because it might tell us a little bit how Nemesis plans on going into this final fight, Spraggles.
Yeah, we're going to see what they want to do here. I mean, it's so incredibly close on score. They've got the Tyranitar. It's not yet 13, as we're going to see how they want to play this. It's very important that they engage on this correctly, as it looks like the Juicers are just zoning out the Trevenant right now. The Scald will be able to lower its attack stat, and at the same time, if they can catch it outside of a Sand Tomb, I'm sure they're going to throw everything they've got at it.
All right, they're staging up for a play is Nemesis. We'll see if they can catch anybody. Asimil's there, they force out the Solar Beam. Orange Juicers, when are they going to engage? Yeah,
we're going to have to see how they want to play this. They are slightly behind in this moment. The Scald just looking for members of Nemesis. Nemesis deciding when they want to move in and make this fight happen. Here comes a big-time jumper with a Sand Tomb. There's the Slow Beam.
Slow Beam on top of the Tyranitar, forcing the Comfy Unite to get popped out. They actually reset through the portal, but LGC is left off the chains. They find their first target. Blaziken is down. LGC wants the next one. We're going back into the middle. Zugrug is so low. They hit the right target, but nobody was there to focus fire in on them. 2 players down now for Orange Juicers, but Nemesis are on the hunt. They're up by 20 points, and they want more. Can they find the next target? Flareon's is where they're going. Flareon's is on the chase. Metallic sees them, and they are throwing all the rocks in the world straight in their grill, and they're going to close out another huge goal zone. We pop the Hoopa Unite right back in the middle. It's a race to see if anybody can score. Hasenable goes with the rock tomb in the middle. Secured by Hoopa, but they still need to get their points in. Nemesis needs to pivot and break some of these shields.
Nemesis needs to break shields, but they have a Tyranitar. If they can get a Sand Tomb down on a goal zone, they can also stop them from scoring that way. The points going top, making it 316 to 279. This game is so incredibly close. Mew moving towards that central goal zone. Tyranitar looking to see if they can defend, but they weren't there in time. The points rain in. Orange Juicers with another 100.
I cannot believe the Orange Juicers made that magic happen. Great sandbagging of the Unite move by Roland to pull everybody to the middle and give this team a chance. We still got 35 seconds, and we got a real chance at a push.
That's right. The push is happening here in this bottom path. 20 more points going in from the Trevenant as we have 50 with Zugrug in this top path. They are moving towards this tier 2 goal zone, and they're looking to fight. Trevenant moves in. Here comes the Sand Tomb. The scores need to happen. The points go in the main goal zone, 596 to 295, and only 10 seconds left.
There's not enough in the tank here. Comfy United is popped. They're fighting in the tall grass. Doesn't matter. Zugrug's back to Scald. They slow beam another target, and Orange Juicers gonna take game number 2.
Orange Juicers with a big win right here, and just another, example of Tyranitar not getting it done on the big stage.
I have to question here, Nemesis on the full chase to get Flareons. It's almost like they wanted a little bit, they wanted their, have their cake and eat it too type situation. They got 2 prime targets. They had everybody there in the kitchen sink that they could throw at this Rayquaza to absolutely burn it down, and they went on a 4-player chase for Flareons. I know we say it's tough to beat the same team twice, but this is one of the first times we've seen a team from the winner's side actually start motoring a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point, as here we are getting ready for game number 3. Here is our draft. Nemesis is going to be on the purple side, banning out this Umbreon. We've got the 2 picks over to the sides of the Juicers. They're going to ban out Cramorant, and now our final ban for the side of Nemesis. We're going to see what they want to get rid of. Phalanx has been so incredibly popular, it feels like the first pick probably doesn't want to get rid of it. They'll get rid of something else, which looks like Metagross. I think that was just a pick on accident, it looks like, from what I can see with the cameras.
Yeah. The way they reacted to that happening was quite clear. Like,
yeah, it was like, hey, buddy.
Okay, all right. Well,
what you doing?
Well, they've got a lot of Pokemon they can pick from now.
Yeah, and a huge one is Leafeon. Leafeon crushing this tournament. We saw Overlord playing on it, doing some insane stuff. Trainer is like one of the Leafeons in NA, so we'll have to see how they want to play this. Over to the other side, Zugrug picking up the Trevenant, Flareon's picking up this Sylveon.
2 quality picks. I mean, if Tree's there, Zugrug's going to pick it, right? Flareon's, on the other hand, their Mew play has been really good, but pivoting to Sylveon because they know how good Yeet is on that. And please, Snipe Shot Inteleon.
Ooh, we've got ourselves an Inteleon. Have not seen much Inteleon, I think, at all on broadcast here today. A lot of teams sort of shying away from it, even though it's still an incredibly powerful choice. It is a Pokemon that you can hunt down, right? It's up there, it's right there with Decidueye. Luckily, it has more mobility than that bird, but at the same time, it is a Pokemon that you can take one of these massive carries, like a Dodrio, a Zoroark, or something, and just chase it across the map.
Absolutely. Locked in quickly is the Blaziken by Machisel, and Roland grabbing Blissey. So we're going to see how Nemesis closes this draft out. Like we said, Rex's Hoopa play has really leveled up. I'd be unsurprised to see them go there. And Metallic is one of the few players left in NA that is favoring this Gyarados in the top path.
Yeah, I think Gyarados is still really strong, but at the same time, it's obviously not performing like it used to be. It could just be the amount of, Unite move charge taken away from it. It could be that it wasn't the absolute best pick to begin with, but it was still doing some real work for some of these top teams. We're gonna have to see what it looks like here in game number 3, as Dodrio is the last pick for Juicers, excuse me.
Yeah, Kratos is a bird keeper trainer, right? They are playing the birds if it's there. We just saw them on Blaziken. Now they're picking up Dodrio. And a last pick Dodrio for Kratos, I mean, that's definitely in their comfort zone, in their wheelhouse, and a Pokemon that we've seen this team choose earlier, or this player choose earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Dodrio is a weird one right now. It does feel like a really powerful choice that you can get very late, and you kind of want to, because you don't want to be running into, a few really annoying Dodrio counters.
Rex playing leftovers on their Hoopa, if I saw that correctly. Is that a final preparation switch out we're going to see, or is that leftovers Hoopa?
It could be leftovers Hoopa. I mean, when you're running across the map, maybe you need some time to heal up after you're heading in for that jungle invade. So we'll have to see what they want to do with it. But at the same time, if you're running Trick Hoopa and you're not attacking for a moment, you're actually considered out of combat even if you're providing shields. So they could be using this to heal while still inside combat.
Rex likes to get creative with the support picks. Of course, game one, we already saw them lock in the Sableye to help facilitate trainer LGC. Maybe we're going to see a Trick Hoopa game.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out here, as Trick Hoopa has actually been gaining in popularity in just about every region, and it would be time to see it here in North America in our grand finals as we head into game number 3. Nemesis, your purple team. Orange Juicers, your orange team. I'm sure they love being called the orange team.
Yeah, that's the side they prefer to be on, I suppose, as Rex is exactly where you said they would be. Across the map, just trying to be a bully on the Orange Juicers and keep Kratos from getting this Pokemon too easily. The buff is going to be well earned by this team, and it doesn't matter because Rex is leaving with it.
Yeah, he's taking it, and he is running, which, you know, is pretty incredible. This is something that a lot of these supports can do, and it's especially a powerful play that we're seeing out of some other regions in the game. And now it looks like North America is more on board with this, you know, extremely aggressive, invading the enemy central area strat.
Well, it looks good, and they're going to be able to collapse on top of Machizel and Roland. I don't think they know LGC's coming. They're going straight after Machizel. That's a quick KO, and Roland now is just hanging out, almost walking towards the portal as if they're hoping it would bring them home, because they are looking at 2 players make it 3. Metallic bounding their way over across to get a stack in, and now Roland ticks over after a nice secure and really kind of puts the push to an end.
Yeah, and look at this here. Obviously, they were able to secure an assist earlier because we already have Gyarados at level 4 in this top path. We have Dodrio coming up here to make something happen, but there's Machizel with the big-time Blaze Kick, and Leafeon goes down.
Yeah, really close to be able to reset, and then it was also a very fast Gyarados for Metallic as well, Spraggles, and that's going to be a problem for Orange Juicers because the best opportunity you have against Gyarados is the early stages in the game before it becomes Gyarados. And now Nemesis, again, they have an advantage. Can they leverage it well into the mid-game?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question, right? How are they going to be able to handle this? We've got the Drill Peck here from the Juicers. Nice big secure there from Yeet. I mean, it's a really viable play. You're not sure that the Inteleon is there, and that water gun comes through with a huge burst of damage.
Yep, and now the Inteleon is online. The snipe shot is there, and it's just going to be pot shots at range. Kratos has one target now in my mind, and it's getting to the backline Inteleon. They know that LGC has to scrap in their face, but Yeet, if all goes well, is never even on the screen when they're hitting your squad.
Nice big Drill Peck. We see Asdevil getting caught right here in a lot of trouble. Can they get the KO? They do. Snipe shot coming through. Not able to find their target. Not able to get the wild Pokemon either. Dodrio moving in, getting a little aggressive, maybe too aggressive, is going to have to run back.
Fortunately, the Razor Leaf from Trainer actually couldn't box the Dodrio, so they couldn't pull it back to deal that second whip of damage there. But good recovery by Nemesis. I mean, they had some of their more squishy Pokemon exposed to Kratos, and were able to make sure that despite Asdevil not being there, they didn't lose any of them.
You know, I'm going to have to wonder how exactly the Juicers want to play this. It really does feel like Nemesis is making some big-time plays here up into the top path. We've already got level 8 on our Leafeon. We've got level 9 on our Inteleon right here. I love to see a lot of these NA teams start to get really aggressive with the enemy central area. We're seeing that from Nemesis in this game.
Yeah, Regieleki at half. Machizel actually forced it back off, using their Focus Blast, then moving in. Yeet trying to escape the Kratos. They're successful. Winding up a snipe shot. No, just an auto attack comes through, and Sylveon secures the Regieleki. It's marching towards Nemesis. The scoreline's pretty close, and they got a chance to defend here.
Yeah, they've got a chance to defend. Nice big snipe shot hits right into the Inteleon Unite move. We have Kratos moving in with Dodrio, but they are going to have to run. You know, Inteleon does have those snipe shots, but they also have those auto attacks inside their Unite that are just unbelievably brutal. And the quick snipe shot picks up a KO.
The 360 no-scope rings true, and that Blaziken is buckled by the Inteleon. But Orange Juicers finding a way to get some value somewhere else on the map. Kratos picking up their Unite move now after dunking a couple points, and Rex quick on the rotation, but just not quick enough.
Yeah, not able to stop enough of it there, but the scoreline's still really close. 44 to 76 as we're about 4 minutes gone in this match. Up in our top path right here, you can see we are still fighting between these two goal zones, top and bottom. Tons of experience to be found, and we now have level 9 on this Gyarados, so we have the Unite move online.
That is 2 snipe shots that barely grazed past Roland here. And now we're popping some Unite moves. Bliss Assist to keep Blaziken up. Machisel charges up, but Overheat, nobody's home. Now Metallic's caught between all the players of Orange Juicers. Can they take any bodies with them on the way out? No. Perfect portal by Rex. Metallic doesn't take it. They bounce back through and says, I'm still here for the smoke, turning this place into the Lake of Rage. Kratos gets bounded on a pound, and we're floopy flopping all over the Orange Juicers.
Beautiful stuff from Metallic, picking up a triple KO in this top path. Regieleki here in 30 seconds. Orange Juicers just needs to continue farming, finding some experience. They have a goal zone up top and bottom, and they also have a score lead. They just took a pretty tough fight, as we can see Leafeon moving in, trying to get a KO right here, but maybe bit off more than they could chew, just having to run.
Yeah, and a great way, you could actually see they waited till Flareon's used the Hyper Voice on the Wild Mob and then went in to try and see if they could get a cheeky KO. Everybody's collapsing on top of Trainer. That's going to be a tough Pokemon to get out of there. However, Asinable and Metallic are there. Metallic actually bounces backwards to get out with their Horn Leash towards the rest of the Orange Juicers. Now we have to pop the Rex Unite. The rings are unbound, and they're looking for a target. Zugrug on the backside, and now can they collapse on Metallic? They're trying to poke that target back to the squad, but it's the laser beam from space by the Hoopa in big form that is really spacing out the Orange Juicers. Meanwhile, we've got a 40 banger going downstairs. Kratos pops their Unite move, rip through half the Nemesis squad. Is anybody actually going to go down here? Zugrug poaching everybody back. Finally, 2 players down on Nemesis. Orange Juicers knocking the pulp out their fruit.
Yeah, Orange Juicers looking incredible in this fight as Yeet has now used their Unite move, and they are pushing forward with this Inteleon. Picks up one, but the Drill Peck comes down and cleans that up. Orange Juicers now looking to make something happen at Regieleki. Zoned out pretty well. They are going to lose Sylveon, but they've been focusing their damage on this Regieleki. It's getting extremely low. Here comes the Razor Leaf, and it is secured by Nemesis.
LGC, what a troll. Just hung out, shot the Razor Leaf out, timed it, and pulled it back. Kratos gets the KO for that insolence, but Hoopa deals it right back. Rex demolishing the 3-headed bird, and now Regieleki storming towards the Orange Juicers pad, but I think if they hang out, they're overextending their welcome, and I think they need to peel back now.
Yeah, it looks like Nemesis just going to have to peel back, using that Gyarados Unite move, trying to make something happen there in that moment. The amazing thing about that Gyarados Unite is you are able to get it back very, very quickly. Even after the nerfs to its Unite move charge, it still is back immediately. It should have it at Rayquaza, no problem.
Yeah, Rex actually just making sure Zugrug thinks twice about entering and trying to make a cheeky cheeky secure on the basement Reggie here, but Kratos pulls up, gets a knockout on Rex, and now they have LGC cornered. LGC is gone. Flareon's with the Hyper Voice. Now they're chasing on Yeet. They're collapsing pretty quickly. Drill Peck misses, but they're pulled right back and knocked out quickly. Now they need to defend this goal zone as they're all crash landing on top of the heads of the Orange Juicers. Rex with the secure here, with the save, as they're trying to prevent them from scoring, but points are going in regardless. The goal zone's gone.
Wow, goal zone gone. Broken here at 2 minutes 30 seconds. Amazing play from the Juicers right there, and you can see they were relentless trying to score right there, just continued pushing forward. They knew there wasn't enough Rex could do to stop them, using Phantom Force, just trying every trick in the book to push them off the goal zone, but with multiple targets, they couldn't make it happen, and now they are up big time. 44-11, and now we're going to have to see how Nemesis wants to play this fight, as Orange Juicers is in control.
They are in control indeed. Asinable trying to turtle up around the rest of the squad because they know they're going to be needed to run interference. But they're going for a score. Nice wall down to make sure that the rest of Orange Juicers can't peel up, and they're going to get a hundo banger in and shrink this lead a little bit.
Yeah, they are. 144-11. Nemesis still behind right here, but Orange Juicers not making any aggressive plays. They're looking to see if they can catch someone. The Blaziken is very far forward, has a ton of information. They know exactly where the Leafeon is right now, and it's actually pushing towards the Blaziken. But the question is, do they go in for a fight? Dodrio and Blaziken peel forward, not able to make anything happen. Right now, Nemesis just stalling.
doing a good job, Trainer LGC did, to pull both of them out of hiding, Machisel and Kratos, and not getting knocked out for that effort is pretty important. Metallic going to charge a bounce, but again, we're just taking a deep breath here. Who's actually going to engage? Machisel gets out of the X scissor, but is that going to be the impetus to kick things off? Not right now.
No, it doesn't look like it as we're continuing this fight. Huge Horn Legion Woodhammer. Here comes the Dodrio Unite move.
Kratos going straight up top to see if they can get a target. We have got the rings unbound. Blitz Scissors right on top of him, but Yeet with a snipe shot sorts them out quickly. They're trying to pivot onto the rest of the Juicers. 2 down now, and now it should be dominoes. We're going on top of Machisel. Machisel's gutted to the floor. It's just the Sylveon and the other pink blob, the Blissey, looking to sort it out. They pop their Unite move, but it's Metallic that's getting screamed at. But it's a KO streak of 2 by Rex on the other side. Orange Juicers just have Flareon standing, and they're already going for that back cap action.
That's right, here we go. Huge score of the top path, 96 points go in, 240 to 211 as we see Nemesis trying to score on the bottom path. Dodrio running, trying to stop it right here. There is some time on the clock. There is something that they can do, but another 6 points rain in, 10 seconds left, and I don't think anyone from Orange Juicers can run and make another score happen in time.
Well, Kratos is peeling up, and no, that is too late. Day late, dollars short. And now Nemesis takes game 3. Buckle up, Buttercup, we're in for a marathon.
We may just be, and this is what happens in some of these grand finals. The team coming from the losers bracket, especially the team that was sent down there by the current team hanging out in the winners bracket, comes back up, they start winning some games, and they reset this bracket. You can see, once again, they're winning, but there's no time to celebrate.
Is there anything they can do on this draft screen now that stands out? They would go, you know what, that would switch it up.
Yeah, you wonder, right? And you wonder how Nemesis wants to play this, because we saw some looks from Nemesis earlier that we really haven't seen in these grand finals yet. You know, them pulling things out like Glaceon,
Sure.
But it looks like they're getting really aggressive and in the face of Orange Juicers, and it's working out very well for them. The bands coming across, we have the Cramorant, we have the Leafeon on the other side, Umbreon, and of course, Phalanx. I think everyone in NA right now is well aware that Phalanx is it in this tournament.
Yeah, it really, really is. I'm watching Nemesis plays, and I feel like they're the current perfect fusion between an NA playstyle and the Japanese playstyles we've seen of the most recent tournament here. Just sometimes they're incredibly team fight forward like the rest of NA, and other times it's cheeky aggression.
Yeah.
Cheeky aggression, calculated fights. We got a 2-on-1 here. Let's go. Let's open this. And because they're throwing like so many different looks, it's tough to adjust to what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's what we saw a lot from Japan, right? Is this strategy where you're kind of concerned with your opponents if you have to be almost, but there's this other game you are playing, which is take as many buffs as possible, take as many wild Pokemon as possible from the enemy team. We see these picks locking in. Gyarados making its way onto the map here for the Juicers as Trainer is locking in Mimikyu at the top of the show in the pre-show. I was talking about how I was not a Mimikyu believer here for this tournament. I'll have to see if these teams can prove me wrong.
Well, LGC was also the Mimikyu player from months ago when we were like, it was specifically me and you that were like, I don't think that's the wave.
Yeah.
And it didn't look phenomenal, but LGC kept going back to that well, because LGC is a difference maker on this Pokemon. If they can get it online and they get the support they need to facilitate what they're trying to do, we get those Shadow Sneak resets, and LGC is going to run roughshod through the Juicers.
And we see Metallic with this final choice right here. It looks like they maybe have not given up on Tyranitar, but I asked for the Zarina, and they are delivering. A Pokemon that's really been doing it in Japan, but we've not seen a ton of it here in NA or EU, really anywhere else.
Right.
I feel like Zarina is popular, maybe Japan, maybe in APAC a little bit, but boy, we have not seen it in NA. When you look across the other way, what targets do you see for this Unite move? I can see one big one, I guess.
Honestly, I'm kind of happy with Machisel, Flareons, or Kratos, because that is an isolating, individualistic Unite move, and now they have 2 of them on their squad. So if LGC goes in, the Zarina can follow up on the trap target, and vice versa, right? We can line up our Shadow Sneak and get ready to engage once the Zarina Unite completes. So honestly, if I'm looking at the other side, as long as I'm not catching the Hoopa or the Trevenant, I'm pretty happy, because that target should go down.
Even though we've seen some big Hoopa catches earlier in this tournament turn into wins, right?
That's true, yeah.
Those were pretty big moments when that support went down, but you're right. I feel like if you get close, you know, to that candle, you're feeling pretty good about taking it down with your Unite move, especially Zarina's. I feel like below 50% HP on Chandelure, and that Unite move is basically a delete button.
Yeah, without a doubt. But also like Blaziken, which has great mobility, being able to trap it, right? Because a lot of times it's an engagement, but it can still kind of weasel its way out just because of how the Pokemon's built in its skill set. But if you can trap it with one of your 2 hard engagement targets and the other one is there to follow up, that's critical. That is going to snowball effect through these fights.
And here we go, Dupes. Next, game number 4. Orange Juicers, your purple team. Nemesis, your orange team. Nemesis 1 win away from the bracket reset.
Nemesis would love nothing more than reset this bracket and really put the screws to the Orange Juicers, the team that sent them down to the losers bracket. Nemesis forever trying to prove themselves as the top NA team despite being there the most consistently through CP.
And here we go down in this bottom path. We have Yeet looking to steal some of this away for their level 4 up at our top path, but Chisel just looking for a little bit of a secure on some of these wild Pokemon as well. You know, Zarina feels a little like Gyarados in that it takes a while to get online, but then once it does, once it hits its level 6, it's got those 2 huge moves, it's got the resets with Queenly Majesty. It feels like a massive power spike.
We already have LGC posturing to go for a big pick here, but 4 players down for Juicer. So all the pressure is on this Gossifleur and Yeet to make sure. Rex and Yeet got to hold back 4, and they're doing okay as now they're rotating immediately back up top to try and support the chaos that Nemesis is bringing onto their doorstep.
Yeah, obviously, if they can get a KO on someone like Trainer, and they do, they're so close to Gyarados right now. You can see how much effort gauge that just filled up. It's just about ready to evolve, and it does evolve. It is now Gyarados here in this top path. As you can see, this experience being pressured by Rex, but able to be taken by the Juicers.
Both of these teams got their Gyarados online at 8:30, around that mark. And that's the hallmark of a solid team that feels pretty good about what they're doing when they're bringing Gyarados to the Thea Sky Ruins. However, I was just about to say, we need Eldegoss online. We need Rex to become a factor here because that's the only way that Trainer and Metallic can feel like they're doing something. Candle on the backside, can they get an engagement on them? They're going for Flareon's trap and stomped out. You shattering that glass like a bat mitzvah. They're getting it done.
Yeah, they're moving through here, doing great. Amazing stuff from the Mimikyu as well. That Shadow Claw just ripping through the side of Orange Juicers here. They're making some big plays with it. Here comes the Stomps Arena and the Shadow Claw once again. Another big pickup for Nemesis.
Yeah, they're moving as a unit here, right? Just everybody getting each other's pockets, and that's what we were kind of stating, is if those 2 can finish the same target over and over and over again, it makes it difficult. I mean, Zarina has great sustainability. The resets through Mimikyu, the natural damage, and then when their Unite moves come into play, it's going to become a problem.
And here we go, looking for a possible fight here. They catch the Shadow Sneak, but I don't think the Trainer wants to jump into 4 members of Orange Juicers right now as they run down to the bottom path. One of my favorite parts about catching a Shadow Sneak like that, Dupesnacks, is your opponents are not sure whether you're coming in or not. You can see them playing in this really interesting sort of passive way where they're like, am I dealing with you or not? What's happening exactly? And you're just walking away. You're doing something else at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the best. Just having the marker on you is like, is this going to be the marker of doom?
Yeah.
Or am I just getting baited here? And good Mimikyu players will make it so that you never actually know if you're going to get engaged on or not.
Exactly right. They could engage 10 times in a row and then just, you know, start pulling back every time they hit that Shadow Sneak. And keeping your opponents guessing for something like that could be huge. Nice big Unite move to get out of a troubling situation here as we have this Regieleki walking towards this top path. Mimikyu did jump in for that fight, but Regieleki is being taken down here by now.
I mean, already 1 player down for Nemesis, as you mentioned, but Orange Juicers are finding a way. The scoreline's pretty close. Azimuth again on babysitting duty on the goal zone themselves. Nice X's are catching multiple targets here. Buying enough time, Rex is there. Can they keep this goal zone standing? Roland's gonna have to reset through their own stuff here. Azimuth's there, and we're picking them back through his Metallic. There's that delete Unite move right on top of Blaziken. Do they have the follow-up? They do, they're gone. Metallic looking for the next target. We got a little Dipsky-do action out of Roland. Can they get bullied out? They don't take the portal, but they had an opportunity to get away. Phantom Force back through. Rock Tomb's there, and the Stomps are still going. We've got our boots stitched up, and Metallic wants more.
Yeah, Metallic wants to pick up some of these big-time KOs, and they do. Really great stuff from Zarina. Again, we saw a lot of this in Japan. This kind of play style, this level of aggression, Unite moving the squishy Pokemon on the enemy team, and just a lot of Zarina. So much more than we've seen in other regions, and now we're seeing a top NA team pick it up. We even talked about how they were playing a lot more similarly to some of the Japanese teams than some of the NA teams, and this is just another example of that.
Yeah, I mean, to their core, they're an NA team, and these teams, these players like to brawl, but being able to pull out a different look, different strategy, and keep the team guessing, much like if you're going to pull the trigger on the Shadow Sneak or not, is invaluable. Bang, Gyarados is gone after a beautiful Mimikyu Unite, and now we're spacing through. Roland can't even step up because Yeet is there for the coverage, but we're going rings unbound. Can we close the goal zone before they show up? We can, but Rex is going to be the prime target. They're the ones that are knocked down, but if that buys enough time for everyone else to get out, that is a huge win, Spraggles.
Yeah, and massive Unite move there from the Candle. That was a really interesting play. Asdamble using the Crusted Unite, just pulling away from this here. Regieleki going down in this moment, moving towards this tier 2. Right now, Orange Juicer's slightly behind on the scoreboard, but they've got that tier 1 available, and they also could decide to push with this Regieleki. We're going to see how many members of Nemesis want to stay here and deal with this, as the Orange Juicers are top, and a steal by Zug. How cruel.
They sent Zug down just to see how many players are there, and once they saw that there was 3, they immediately attacked that goal zone up top, knowing that they're going to be able to get them outnumbered. Zug pays the price for that move, but that tier 2 goal zone is gone in the top path, unlocking that Zapdos win con.
Yeah, Zug pays for it with a KO, right? But at the same time, not only does he get that information for the squad and they score up in the tier 2, he also takes the objective from them, wastes an insane amount of time.
That, I mean, they can't be happy about that as Nemesis, and they really felt like they were in control here. Immediately pulled away from them just by taking the Registeel, and then just your only thing you leave with is a Zugrug KO. That ain't worth. Now we're going back in. Trainer LGC is upset. Roland have to take their portal, but they're going to hang out the Gyarados to dry. Gyarados does get the Mimikyu, but Zarina, Metallic, there to stomp the fish down.
That's right. As we're getting ready for this right here, you can see we should have another Regieleki that could possibly walk towards Nemesis. Orange Juicers right here, not trying to let Nemesis reset this bracket. They want to win this one, win one more, and then head home as the champions of NA. Nemesis, though, playing some great matches here, and they look fantastic here. The Zarina already level 13.
Yeah, nothing to scoff at. Metallic has done a great job, but way more involved than we've seen in Metallic in previous games. Asdamble, I mean, they're just in a blender. No shot to get out of that. As Trainer LGC is baiting these Shadow Sneaks around, and finally Metallic goes in. We just need the Trainer follow-up. Are they going to get it? We do pop the Zarina Unite to get the Candle down. A nice reset attempt, but just a couple players make it through. Hoops is down as well. Mark down the Blaziken as well. Now Regieleki is going to go to Nemesis for free, and that was pretty important to just not open up an easier win con for OJ.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you don't love this as Nemesis. You don't love using Unite moves in a moment like this, but you kind of have to make sure that they don't send it towards your main base and unlock a crazy win condition, especially with a Hoopa on their side. We could easily see a Yamada strategy, just porting the whole team in there. That is no longer an option, as we have Nemesis getting a little aggressive here around this Rayquaza pit. We had the eject button from Zug, not able to make it happen there with the Wood Hammer, as we have...
Oh, Kratos is blended, my friend. Holy, Metallic gets them done. Cotton Cloud crash right on top. 2 players down in a heartbeat. What a misstep there. We have the Gyarados Unite. Machisel needs to find Yeet. Yeet is there, and they're going to keep moving forward. Mystical Fire on top of the Gyarados. We're going for the stomp, and now we're just slashing all through of them. 3 players down. Nemesis just needs to close the door on this thing. Roland going to reset themselves. Meanwhile, we've got an 80-point back cap by Rex. If we get the points in, they do. They now have the lead. Roland popping their Unite move, bringing everybody through. Blaziken is there. Can they actually take out Metallic? Fire types are advantage against Grass, but ain't going to work out here. Eject button for the overheat. Still standing, Spraggles.
Incredible stuff as the Juicers are back in this fight. Huge Shadow Sneak as they're running towards Flareon's, not able to take them down. Trainer now getting kicked into the wall.
The Rock Tomb reposition.
Wow, the
Sick
Rock Tomb
play.
saved it right there from that overheat. What a massive Rock Tomb. I don't even know if they know know how close that was. Nemesis up on the scoreboard, 295, 221, 1 minute left on the clock, under 1 minute right now, and Nemesis needs to make a big play here. Excuse me, Orange Juicers needs to make a big play, or Nemesis is going to reset this bracket. Orange Juicers with a sneaky score in the main base.
I mean, Zarina still just used their Unite move, and that was a great way to pick up the candle again. Their best source of rip. Now they're going for back caps. The Hundo Burger's going in, and LGC's not letting them off the hook. They're still shredding them. The Hundo Burger is in. Zagrod can do nothing but poach him with the Horn Leech. 20 seconds left, Spraggles, and Nemesis says, you might be the Orange Juicers, but we are 100% real fruit juice. We coming after you.
That's right. Somehow that score goes in. Zagrod does not land in time. Nemesis scoring in the top path. A beautiful play by the Juicers, but shut down by Nemesis, as we are going to see a bracket reset here in North America.
Yeah, I told you. I told you, there ain't no way anybody's getting home on time today. I knew this was going to happen. Nemesis, cool as a cucumber, which is maybe the most dangerous thing I've seen today. The fact that they're still this locked in after just resetting the grand finals of the North America Regional Finals. Are you kidding me? I mean, when Bruv always had the pocket mime, it allowed them to get more creative in their drafts. We even saw like Tomato from Kabi-chan's also flex into mime as their tank pick. And honestly, when you can do stuff like that, it opens up opportunities for your other players to get creative in their picks as well, and a true ripple effect. But these teams disagree. Umbreon's gone, Crustle gone, so they're kind of cutting off Asinable, who's kind of been soloing this this bug type.
I mean, it has been huge, right? And if this first pick goes over to the side of the Juicers and they want to take Trevenant, they're taking a lot of options away from him. Maybe a little more worried about this Sylveon, who we are seeing in so many games. Now, really Nemesis has access to Trev right now, and I feel like that's a huge pickup for them. And it looks like they are going to go with it, as well as Leafeon. A couple of grass types coming out here in our Grand Finals reset.
It feels like Zagrod is maybe now moving towards Snorlax. So if that's the case, then you can kind of sandbag your defender pick to the end, because I don't think that's where they're going to go. Or that's not where Nemesis was going to go, but, you know, Orange Juicers not leaving it up to chance and grabbing it now.
Here we've got that Blissey pick as well. I mean, so many top picks on the side of Juicers right now. Yeet hovering this Inteleon. We saw it do some real work earlier. Metallic switching on over with Rex. They are going to pick up Eldegoss. Eldegoss feels like kind of an EU favorite. I feel like EU is dominating with this thing. We've seen North America and Japan recently from the tournament that I was watching have a little more variety with some of their supports. It wasn't the first pick every time.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about Eldegoss is it just kind of covers different things. It has strong matchups into certain Pokemon. I mean, like a Garchomp, for example. Once a Garchomp engages, it gets caught in a Cotton Spore, like that's a problem. Now, what they've let, though, is Metallic have the opportunity to seal up this Gyarados. Yeah, we're going to see if they want Gyarados. That Blaziken is also an option right here. Of course, Tyranitar that they hovered as well, but it didn't look like they were as confident on Tyranitar. Gyarados looking great. I have to say, the Garchomp pick is always questionable. We've seen some people dominate with Garchomp, and we've seen some people not quite make anything happen with it. You know, I like that Metallic went to Gyarados. I do like that. I think Blaziken is good, but feels kind of a trap in this current composition that Orange Juicers has put together. So it's kind of like a bait, like, please take Blaziken. I think we'd rather scrap with that in the front line with how our team is built. However, Metallic going to Gyarados, that bounce, being able to just get in and most importantly have a great retreat tool is solid. Yeah, and here we go. Our two teams getting ready. 10 seconds left before we start our Grand Finals reset. Locking in their Pokemon, locking in on stage. Like we saw from Nemesis earlier, they are doing well, they are winning, they are beating Orange Juicers, but they are focused, not finished. The job is not done yet, as our two teams are ready to square off here at NAIC. Orange Juicers versus Nemesis in your Grand Finals reset. Let me hear you, NAIC! To the limits here. Nemesis ready to go. They've won 3-1 in that first set. They need to win another 3 here. They're halfway there. Game 1, bracket reset, Grand Finals at Pokemon NAIC, NAIC.
Pokemon, nice. Orange Juicers, your purple team. Nemesis, your orange team. Here we go with this reset. And this is where anything can happen. But most of the time, Doob Snacks, it feels like the team that reset just has that momentum. They have the wind in their sails, and their ship is sailing towards becoming your champions. Nemesis wants this badly. They want the championship. As Yeet told me on stage, he wants the hardware. He wants to win a big title.
Look at the pressure they're putting on Roland here, or the time that Roland's managed to waste. They wanted they wanted the Magikarp to get that knockout so bad because of that effort gauge. Look, it's almost full. We might have a 9-minute Gyarados, a couple of seconds to seal that up, maybe a one piece of Wild Farm off, but that is huge for Nem.
How massive is this? We basically have a Gyarados at 9 minutes here in our first game of our grand finals. It's gonna walk the path in 1 second. A level 4 Gyarados walking towards these birds at 850. Wow, this is so huge for Nem.
It's almost like the Orange Juicers didn't get the memo on the knockout when they rotated up like 4 players to see what they could do with Metallic. And now it's just Machisler and Roland staring down Rex. And yeah, they might have a Gyarados. I don't think they're concerned that Rex hasn't evolved Eldegoss yet.
Yeah, I mean, I would be so worried if I was that top path for the Juicers. One of the biggest reasons is just Dragon Breath, having one of the craziest secures in the game. That Gabite feels like it doesn't come anywhere close. Luckily, it can pull some of the wild Pokemon away from Gyarados. That's what it's going to need to do right here. Although it is moving forward for a little bit of an engage, even 2-on-1, I feel like Gyarados feels pretty confident down here as 4 members of Nemesis are crashing this bottom goal.
And they can do that because the Gyarados is so huge right now. Yeet is going to go down. They get a little bit of value, but maybe not as much as would be worth trading Yeet for the 27 points that they're able to get in here. Nemesis rolling through. Nice bounce on top of Machisler. Dragon Rush to push Metallic towards the rest of the team, but Roland is still a chancey, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this is going so well for Nemesis right now. A lot of these fights looking very beautiful for them. I like what Orange Juicers are doing, though. You can see this Gabite still looking for some experience. They're level 7 right now, so they are keeping pace. They're actually doing a little bit better than this top path, even though, to be fair, Nemesis has kind of left this Gyarados alone at this point. Getting caught with a Dragon combo, moving in and picking up the KO.
Roland just has to get away, KOing the Gabite there. The Machisler was huge, and Metallic getting that KO on top of all that pumped them up from 5 to 7 in a heartbeat.
Yeah, this is just one of the toughest things. When you let your opponents get Gyarados early, you are in such trouble. They are now going to take this top objective basically for free. Nemesis running down to the bottom path here, and it's not like Orange Juicers can do much about it currently. They got a snipe shot and Teleon down here at level 9.
There's no team that feels like they leave players solo in lane and trust them completely more than Nemesis. If it's not Metallic up top, it's Asinable bot. And now, because of that, they're able to stress and pressure the map in different ways. Electro Ball hits Trainer. That's a lot of damage in. Kratos going for the cutoff here. Engagement back the other way. We pick up the berry just in time into the 2-step. If they get this KO, that is nasty business. Kratos pivots out, but Metallic is right there. We pop the Yeet, Inteleon Unite, and now this Registeel is going to go down quickly. Secured the Solar Beam just either late or too far away. Heavy slam into on getting buckled, folded like laundry as Asimov goes for a quick cheeky score, and Nemesis feels in control.
Yeah, Nemesis is in control right there, and unfortunately for the side of Orange Juicers, actually hitting with that Solar Beam a little earlier there gave them a better overcap in the bottom path with the way the scoring was able to go in there. Really amazing stuff for Nemesis, 197 to 44. The early Gyarados, already a level 10. We have Pokemon without Unite moves on the side of Orange Juicers, and we have a level 10 Gyarados on the side of Nemesis.
This is where I want to see good control out of Nemesis, right? Lean into that Japanese style of play. If you have an advantage, take it. If you don't press it, because now you're ahead, and everything you give up is worth its weight in gold for the Juicers.
Yeah, I mean, it is huge. If the Juicers could pick up some KOs right here, that would be massive. We have Asinable watching this bottom path right here. I'm sure the Juicers are aware of this. They're just trying to see if they can get any information from their opponents right here. With 2 goal zones gone, you have such a massive disadvantage advantage information-wise with how much of the map you can see on the side of Orange Juicers. Nice big dragon combo, but not able to catch anyone. Ooh. Huge Unite moves back the other way. Bliss assistance onto the Garchomp.
Right into the two-step. The Bliss is preventing Machisel from going down to the two-step. So now a ton of resources thrown all over. Oh, nice heavy slam block catch. This would be a great KO on Yeet if they can get it. Trev Unite back up top. Can they convert? Machisel with the Dragon Rush. They're eyeing down a target. We have the Razor Leaf going to work up top, sorting out Sylveon, but it's 2 players down. Machisler bites the dust too. And now Heavy Slam going to try and separate LGC from the rest of the team, and at least Flareon's there to get some work done, but it's Aznable that uses the freaking whack-a-mole mallet and sorts out Flareon's.
Aznable playing insane right there, just doing so much work, putting in some overtime, just incredible stuff. I mean, what great positioning, moving the entire fight around, and we're seeing Trevenant players make plays like this. It's why it is the premier defender, in my opinion, in the game right now. I mean, it controlled that entire battle.
It really did. The repositioning that Woodhammer allows you to do, as well as just the Horn Leech spacing, I mean, it's so good. And when you see these talented players using these Pokemon, you're like, yeah, that's why it's a difference maker.
Take a look at this here. That's a level 12 for Trainer. However, you look at the other side, Garchomp is keeping up for the Juicers. We're going to have to see if it's going to be a playmaker or not, but Machisel on the Chomp is continuing to farm, and they are getting strong.
Machisel is one of the best players in NA at keeping pace when the team's behind in terms of getting their levels up, and they need this Garchomp leveled up. Like, they are going to have to engage behind the Machisler here, so Machisel keeping pace is amazing for them. Aznable has a feeling, and they go straight in. They get Dragon Rushed out, and actually Horn Leech into a wall. Shades of a Talonflame right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. If you have a move and there's a wall around you, you could hit it. If you're a Talonflame, you will hit it. Just how it goes.
I mean, there we go. That Sylveon immediately smacked down incredibly quickly, and that's what I'm talking about. Nem is taking cheeky advantages when they have them, but they're not overextending here. Machisel, again, they're letting Machisel off the hook. They're not pursuing that Spriggles. I love this control out of Nem right now.
Yeah, it is really great. Like you're saying, you know, they're taking some cheeky advantages.
Cheeky advantages?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what I said? That is kind of ludicrous. It sounded silly when you said it, and I was like, there's no way I'd say something like that.
You said cheeky, it felt like a Peaky Blinders style. It felt like a show I haven't heard about. Are you watching Cheeky Advantages? No, I'm
watching Peaky Blinders.
I'm still watching Peaky Blinders.
Okay, well, it looks like we need to write a show called Cheeky Advantages.
We own it now that we've spoken it into reality. It is ours currently.
Okay, trademark it. Somebody, production. Get the trademark team on that. That's something we have, right?
Oh, yeah. I can't believe we haven't been using our trademark team. 8 seconds now till Rayquaza. Regieleki walking to the sides of the Orange Juicers. Orange Juicers so incredibly behind right now. They're going to need something big right here. Things are looking great for Nem. We see the Leafeon peeling off to score right here. Orange Juicers are going to want to take a fight here if they can. Leafeon coming back.
Aznable right there, popping the Trev Unite to buy some time. There's going to be a big bounce into the middle. That's fully charged up. Garchomp Unite doesn't really hit anybody. Oh, and the Bliss Assistance hits Zugrug. Of course it didn't hit the Garchomp. It never does. Yeet's peeling away, but Metallic scrapping up front. Popping their Unite moves the Inteleon, and now it's all about auto attacks and damage now. Flareon's has them sussed out, gets the KO on Eldegoss as they stepped up for Yeet to make sure that they didn't get knocked out. The rest of Nemesis needs to get in the middle because they're starting to chip into this Rayquaza. Hitting on the heavy slam is this, but is the Orange Juicers have enough to rip here? The Garchomp is there, and that's a rip tool if they've got it. Metallic lining up, but Yeet needs to line up another snipe shot. This thing's getting low. We're bouncing to the middle, secured by Orange Juicers, and now it's instantly 2 players down for Nem.
No way did Orange Juicers get that. I mean, we had Inteleon right there looking for it in that moment, picking up a couple of KOs, but it's still not over. 244, 217. Flareon's looking to make some more scores happen, but that shield is very, very small. We're going to see if anyone's here to defend. Trevenant not able to make it in time. More points right in. That's 326, and we've got the big 50 here from Machisel moving in with the Dragon combo, and it looks like that might do it, Doobstacks. Orange Juicers somehow pulling out a Game 1 victory.
Flareon's on this Mew. I say you bench the Umbreon ban, pick up the Mew ban, and force Flareon's on something else because that kid is good, and those Electro Balls rarely miss. They secured that thing yet again, and another great secure tool from the Orange Juicers kind of finds its mark, right? And they had a lot going against it, but you use with the tools you got available to you, and they got it done.
This is one of those matches that you just walk away from as Nemesis and you think, how did we lose that? We were so in control. We won every fight. We won every moment throughout. Like, how do we lose that one? Juicers feeling pretty good. Again, there's a lot of tournament to go, but you can see them feeling a little different from, of course, that bracket reset they just had to endure.
Yeah, that's a way to get the wind out of the sails of Nemesis, for sure.
Yeah, I think the Orange Juicers weren't playing a very good game there. I think they got it together at the end. I didn't really like their pick. I don't think it was that great.
All right.
I mean, and I recognize they won this match, but that was one of those clawing their way to getting a victory here in that moment. Just they literally had to have Nemesis fumble that ball a whole bunch of times before they could pick it up. I love that they found their path to victory and they never lost sight of it. That's why they are a top team. But that match, they were getting rocked by Nemesis. I was thinking of all the things I could say about how it was a stomp.
Yeah, really, Garchomp was not it for me either. I don't think that was necessarily the difference maker, and I would like to see them, quite frankly, on something else.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the point I was going to work towards. That was the angle I was going to take. Oh, it's let through and immediately snatched up.
Well, the win rate's insane.
It is.
So I'm surprised, you know, we see the final ban on the side of Juicers was going to be the Leafeon. That sends the first pick over to Nemesis. It gives them this incredibly powerful Pokemon.
Yes.
Now the question is, how comfortable are they on it? You know, we've seen a lot of players dominate with it. We were watching some big games from Butano earlier on this thing, but how comfortable is Metallic on this big Metallic beast? Oh, and they steal the Venusaur too.
I love that. You know, it works similarly to Inteleon, right? It's going to be a Solar Beam Venusaur. Like, I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah.
We've got Metallic here. I don't know how comfortable they are, but they better get comfy real quick because they're going to need to do get Metallic to do some heavy lifting.
I like this strategy here. I'm very interested to see if this Garchomp can give us a different look than game number 1, right? I did not love it in game number 1. However, MVP, they won that match, so we'll see. The proof could be in the pudding there. It might be the Pokemon that wins games. However, now Nemesis possibly just continuing to pour it on there. They almost went Zoroark Comfey. They're considering it, and no, they're deciding we're going to continue to keep some ranged damage here. Glaceon, Hoopster.
I love where they went here. Trainers, Glaceon has been lights out all day long, and now the Orange Juicers might be falling into the Tyranitar trap right here. If that's where they lock in, more power to them, but they've got a lot of work to do. And this Glaceon has looked especially good, specifically into Tyranitar.
You know, it's really interesting to see T-Tar here in this moment because, just like you said, the Glaceon's been strong into it. I think Icy Wind Glaceon plays into it really well. You give yourself a dash, you play at insane range, right? However, T-Tar does feel like it plays well into Venusaur and into Phalanx. So we're going to have to see. I mean, Tyranitar, strangely enough, not setting the world on fire, but it might be a great counter to some of what we've got on the side of Nemesis. You know, Crustle is a huge one. That shield's massive, but T-Tar doesn't care about a shield.
Sure. What's important, though, with the Crustle is the wall.
Yes,
that's what's important. And yes, Tyranitar is theoretically good to Venusaur, but Venusaur is going to be playing at maximum range. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to send your players, even like Flareons, on a mission, right? A mobile Pokemon that can kind of force Yeet forward towards the Tyranitar so they can kind of sandwich them, right? And give them an opportunity to, you know, kind of bypass the fact that we've got Crustle walls.
Yeah, for sure. Orange Juicers now up 1 game in this reset, but a nail-biter of a game for them. I mean, it was a really tough one that they somehow pulled out a victory on. It feels like Nemesis was in control. They were in the driver's seat. They got the reset here. We're going to see if Orange Juicers are going to be able to take over now as we head into game number 2. Nemesis, your purple team. Orange Juicers, your orange team.
Finally, Orange Juicers on the orange side to confuse us just a little less. Rex always on a mission going across town shootout, but they're getting sussed out by Roland and literally just going to get chased down. The Machisel are going to work on this Acelgor here and hope that Rex doesn't poach it out from under him, and Rex is going to try and do just that. Unsuccessful this go round.
Very, very close, however, as they're just being slapped here by the big hands from the Chansey, pushing them out of that central area. Might even be able to pick up a KO right here as they are continuing this chase. Focus Band is now down. Berry stolen by Roland, and we are looking for this KO. Here's the boosted. They're waiting for that big-time pound. No, not able to make it happen, and here comes Trainer stopping this. So sad for Roland.
Just all the fun we were having is now gone as Trainer LGC and Metallic pivot back and go, no, Chansey, you don't get to do this. You work in the Pokemon Center, so we'll send you back home. Nice little poach by the Dragon Rush, but Metallic and Trainer keeping the pressure forward. Machisla getting pretty low on HP. Metallic has to pop back the other way. LGC steps up to screen.
Yeah, I mean, really nice stuff there from the Garchomp, looking a little bit better. Of course, last match we had a, Gyarados at level 4. So that happened very quickly, and it was tough for the Juicers to deal with right here. Portal not going to be taken there, just a bit of a distraction as they're going to head back towards their goal zone here. Metallic level 5 now.
Asnable holding it down in the face of Flareons, who's really been a shining star here for the Orange Juicers, stepped up for that team as the youngest member. Going to secure some wild Pokemon for themselves. They're about to take over to level 6, Braggles.
And here we go. We have a level 6 Venusaur, Ivysaur, I should say, in this bottom path as our teams are getting ready to fight over these birds in the central area here at 8 minutes. A ton of damage just being put down, and we're seeing who can get what as both these teams just burst down these wild Pokemon.
Yeah, I think both LGC and Flareons were able to get a couple of those there in the middle. Asnable takes the portal back through. They're going to step back through it and go downstairs.
Tyranitar not looking too bad here, keeping a level parity with a lot of these Pokemon. It's already at level 6, which is pretty nice. Now, of course, we're heading towards 7 minutes. If at all possible, you'd want it close to level 9, but level-wise, everyone's hanging out in a very, very similar space for these two teams. Tyranitar now at 7, Gabite at 7.
Metallic immediately engaging on Machisel, pinning them against the wall. LGC with the follow-up. Icy Wind. Now we've got the no retreat. The irony is they're backing up immediately, but the birds are going to be able to go towards Nemesis, and that's a great experience boon for them.
And here we go. Trainer just making their way through this hyperspace hole, getting a big-time amount of damage with Icy Wind right there, but not able to pick up a KO as we have multiple members of Nemesis getting ready to see if they can take down Regirock.
Now, catching Flareons in the Rock Tomb and the wall of the environment here. X-Scissors through Zugrug, who's just trying to creep forward, maybe make another play on Regirock. Secured by Yeet. The contending Solar Beams come through, and the true Solar Beam user comes out ahead.
That was very scary right there when you saw that other Solar Beam. Like, it really could have gone either way. You had more damage on the side of Nemesis with Glaceon, but still, that was very scary.
Yeah, look at where Pupitar is working through the middle. If they can suss them out, no quickly resets before they get into too much trouble here. But that would have been a prime opportunity if Nemesis could have figured out where that Tyranitar was.
We've got level 9 here for our Venusaur. That's a Unite move online. We've also got 8 for the Glaceon. Tyranitar is not here yet, but it's got to be incredibly close to ticking over to that level 9, which is a huge difference, obviously, for the Juicers. We're going to see if they have a better strategy with this Pokemon than most, as it has a negative win rate, below 50% win rate, I should say, in this tournament.
Trainer LGC popping the glacial stage, so they're going to be fighting on roller skates up here. I guess ice skates instead, you big goober. Birdanger comes through Solar Beam as well. Gabite is down, and now they're trying to get on top of Kratos. The Failings, the Donk surrounding by the Dinks, trying to make it happen, but the Trantar pops their Unite back on Yeet, and they get a KO streak of 2, sorting out the Tyranitar. You'd think it'd be Jurassic Park, but they're battling each other, and one is extinct.
Beautiful stuff. 6 points remain in this top goal zone. We're going to see if they would like to break this thing. 5 points go in. Looks like they might be leaving it here. Yeet's in a little bit of trouble, not able to make it home. Gives up a pretty big KO, and that's going to be a Garchomp on the side of the Juicers, going from level 8 to level 10.
Asnable pivoting back, using their eject button to just get away, but they are put into trouble immediately. But now another glacial stage used, so they're fighting on ice skates, Spraggles. Blissus instead of the middle, but all of Nemesis is sent reeling. And this is the mid-game. Why has Nemesis not figured this out? It always looks so sideways for some reason. Trevenant Unite has popped to finally get a KO here and keep pushing forward. And now 2 players down for Nem as they're fighting on their tier 2 and desperately trying to get out as Kratos.
Yeah, they are actually able to pull out right here. Roland helps the team skate. I guess you could say they're on rolling skates. All right, Reggie Seal in this bottom path. Let's go.
Grand Finals at NAIC, and that's what we're bringing to you here. Electro Ball right into the mix and quickly sorted out is the Tyranitar. Couldn't get away from Metallic in company. Zugrug moving through, moving forward, and stunned with the Rings Unbound Hoopa and put down by Yeet as Registeel's at half. Flareon's early with the Solar Beam, but now they're going to be able to bully them out, secured by Yeet, and Nemesis is finding footing again. Yeah,
Nemesis pushing forward right here, finding a good fight, but they're running into a Sand Tomb. But what's the Sand Tomb to a Venusaur Unite? They are gone. That is 2 down.
Put them on the merry-go-round. Phalanx rolling through the opposing squad. Orange Juicers getting blended up indeed. And that Phalanx is looking good, and maybe you get why it's been banned so much.
Yeah, Phalanx looking incredible right here. Tyranitar not able to stop them on the goal zone with the Sand Tomb. Instead, we got the delete button of the Venusaur Unite move. They know exactly where this Garchomp is right now, and it does go down.
It's just absolutely buckled. LGC gets collapsed on, stunned a little bit by Kratos. LGC is low. And
no.
The Electro Web from Regieleki sorts them out. We got ops everywhere, says Nemesis. And now they're trying to stem that off. There's no shot.
Yeah, I mean, what an Electro Web. KO'd by the wild Pokemon, the objective, Regieleki right there. And it wasn't even aiming for him.
No, not even close to. Another Glacial Stage is out. Trainers looking to make something out of this, but they're getting caught out and they get buckled immediately. And Nemesis, what do you know? The mid-game treats them poorly, and Orange Juicers are way in this.
Orange Juicers way back in this match. Kratos level 13 on that Tyranitar, which is going to be massive. Metallic looking for their 13 on the side of Nemesis, Glaceon as well. Luckily, both these Pokemon get their plus moves at 12, so they're already pretty dang powerful, but they're going to have to deal with a Tyranitar at level 13. The Sand Tombs basically never quit, so we're going to see how they want to play this fight. Tyranitar right now just looking for some wild Pokemon experience so that they can get themselves a Unite move and get ready for Rayquaza. This game looks a lot different from Game 1, where Nemesis looked incredible. We're going to have to see if Orange Juicers are able to play this Rayquaza fight as well as they did in Game 1.
Looks like Metallic is going for either a back cap or a crazy flank. Solar Beams are actually finding some targets here as LGC is raining around. Machisel goes over the wall, pops their Unite move, long range blitz assistance, but they're caught on the wall. They E-check through, LGC makes it out. There's a portal for them in time. They dodge the Dragon Rush and a nice little pop through by Rex to make sure LGC is safe. Rayquaza is down, but Metallic's caught on the backside of a Nightmare. Solar Beam comes through, puts damage on them. Rings are unbound. They're trying to stun the Machisler. Poaching 2 is Zugrug. Solar Beam back through the other way off the Trevenant Unite. Rubble rousing. Can we stun anybody down? Now Zugrug's in deep waters. Tyranitar engaged on LGC. They catch their target and they put them down. Orange Juicers looking for the next one. It's Asinable and they're buckled. Stepped on is the bug. Tyranitar KO streak at 2. Metallic and Rex are low HP. Kratos goes over the wall straight towards Metallic. Lets them off the hook. Rayquaza's getting low. Rex is here. We have a Solar Beam, but Duff Zugrug doesn't even find them. Push towards the portal. They reset through. They're so low on Rayquaza. Yeet makes it back, but they're putting the pressure on the people here, and they are knocking them out. I can't believe they just went down. Yeet is keeping this team in the game somehow. Another Solar Beam comes through. The rest of Nemesis is here, and LGC is up and moving. They're going to make a play on Rayquaza. Electro Ball secured by Flareons. The Juicers are back.
Once again, Flareons with a crazy secure and an insane Rayquaza fight. The Orange Juicers are moving forward, looking to score. 235 now to 371. Nemesis playing such an amazing fight. Such an incredible back and forth there. Yeet surviving through an absolute onslaught from the Orange Juicers, but they are able to take this victory right here. And I guess I have to say the Garchomp's working. That's 2 in a row.
That is 2 in a row for the Garchomp indeed. But my big question is, Nemesis, what are you doing from 6 to 3 minutes? Figure it out, dudes. I mean, their early start of the game is sorted.
Yeah.
Their team fights at the end look good. What is happening in the middle, big dog?
Nemesis obviously struggling with this moment right here. They brought him to a bracket reset, but it looks like the Orange Juicers took this time to reconfigure what was going on. You know, they're bringing out the Tyranitar, the sub 50% win rate Pokemon right here, and they are making some plays. You can see how deflated Nemesis is right now. They can see this tournament slipping through their fingers. One more game, and we've got ourselves a North American champion, the Orange Juicers. An unlikely story, kind of a team full of players that not exactly everybody wanted. And now here they are in the grand finals, about to possibly become your champions.
And not to mention, Zugrug would become the first two-time champion on this stage at NAIC, pronounced nice.
Pronounced nice, as we see these bands here. Umbreon, Blissey, Cramorant, and we've got Leafeon, which means, yes, they snatch up Phalanx. I don't think the Phalanx was their problem here. I think Phalanx looked pretty dang good.
Oh, I agree. I think Nemesis looked very good when they weren't playing between minutes 6 and 3. If they can sort that out, they've got a shot here. Immediately going to Trevenant. I would be shocked if they locked in A9, but grabbing the Hoop was a good look.
Yeah, Hoopa's been great. Zug's Trev has been doing really, really well. Yeet, once again, locking in this Venusaur. I gotta say, I'm with this as well. I thought the Venusaur looked fantastic. Probably one of the best things we saw all match was that Venusaur from Yeet Fan.
Yeah, and don't forget, Tyranitar's still on the docket here. And so is the Garchomp, I suppose. So Asnable, again, going through the Crustle, they've been, when the Pokemon's been available, they've locked it in.
Yeah.
And it hasn't even been a question there. But now Flareon's is grabbing the Sylveon. And although the strength of Sylveon is clearly there, man, their Mew is lights out right now.
We're gonna have to see how Trainer wants to play this right here. Maybe they're worried about a Lucario. Maybe they just like the comfort pick. No, moving back on over to Glaceon. To be fair, it's looked pretty incredible.
Yeah, I like where Nemesis went here. Again, their problem wasn't in the Pokemon they picked last game. Like,
yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. It was how they were executing in the mid game, and it kind of felt like their communication fell apart. I mean, we are almost like bar the Mew. If I'm Nemesis and I'm looking at, like, are we facing the same thing except without Flareon's Mew? I like where I'm at 100% more.
Honestly, I happen to agree, and we're looking to make the hat trick happen here with the Garchomp. Could Garchomp win 3 in a row in our grand finals? You're about to find out, because Machisel has locked it in.
Well, if there's somebody that can, it's the Machiseler, right? Known for pulling out the Machamp and making magic happen and really winning 2 on the hop off the back of the Machiseler Machamp. You know what? If there's somebody that can at this point that plays in the top path, it's certainly them with this trio of Garchomp picks.
As you can see, the big stage up here. This could be the last time these players sit on it for a game. If Orange Juicers are able to win this thing, they become your champions. And the next time a team walks up here is for the final stretch tomorrow, seeing which team can make it out of NA. Now, both of these teams are qualified for Worlds, but if you looked at this picture of Nemesis right now, you wouldn't believe it.
No, not even close. I'll tell you what, if I'm a Nemesis fan and I'm in the crowd right now, I'm coming unglued the moment this game pops off, because they need to hear you. And yes, they've been stoic and ice cold, but that energy that is emanating from them is different than what we were seeing in that grand finals before the bracket was reset. So Nemesis, if you believe in this team, you better get behind them, because we're about to jump into what could be their last game of this tournament.
That's right, and it also could be Orange Juicers' chance to seize that victory and become your North American champions as we head in here to game number 3 of our grand finals reset. Nemesis, your purple team. Orange Juicers, your orange team.
I love when it lines up like that. Machiseler actually jumping into the middle here for a little bit, rolling on scouting duty to make sure that Rex doesn't get too froggy on the Gossifleur. Metallic putting good pressure, though, onto Kratos, recognizing that they're alone, and they're taking the Tyranitar top to let the Garchomp get moving, and maybe going to do a central swap later on.
Yeah, you know, this is something I was talking about. I don't necessarily feel like you need Tyranitar in that central area. It has decent secure early, and it also doesn't do too bad once it hits its level 5 after this new Stone Edge buff. On the other side, we've got the Phalanx. It is already level 4. We have the Glaceon walking up here at level 5. Glaceon, either build really needs 6. You know, it's one of the only EVs that doesn't go absolutely bananas at level 4.
However, they are carrying all the shards they need for a quality Icy when they fire that right at the opportunity that they got. They're darting forward, looking for more targets. At this point, just taking wild Pokemon and happy with their experience. I have been impressed in the early and late stages of the game of Nemesis' control.
Yeah, you know, a lot of teams would overextend in moments like this, and I got to say I like that play. They knew exactly where Garchomp was, and they decided to make an attempt to take it down there. I don't know if anyone makes it back through that portal, as Garchomp now pushing forward, looking for a KO. They may be able to pick one up. Eldegoss moving in here. Actually, not Eldegoss. Gossifleur moving in here as Garchomp makes another attempt to take down Phalanx.
Able to just barely top off Metallic's HP as a Rex as this paltry Gossifleur. Well, they want to definitely tick over in short order here, get some pollen puffs flying and keeping this team feeling good.
And here we go, fighting over some of this wild Pokemon in between these two goal zones as we look at both teams heading towards the central area. And like I said, you know, it's not crazy leveled here, but we now have this Tyranitar already at 6.
Yeah, and it's going to be able to do another central rotation here leading into the 7-minute mark and get pretty darn close to hitting level 9, which is going to be a scary thought.
Yeah, and it was looking great. It felt like the Juicers knew how to play this, maybe a little better than some of the other teams you see try to pick this Pokemon up. And it also felt like it was fighting pretty well into what Nemesis was throwing at it in a lot of these big engagements. You could see 4 members here of Nem looking for a play. Roland spots it out.
Yeah, and then just a little pop through, a little astonish stun to make sure that, like, yeah, I know you're here, you know, okay? You can't pull too many tricks on us, all right? I'm hooping.
And here we go. Yeet is now level 7, so we now have the ability to start hitting some things with some big-time solar beams. Gonna be interesting not seeing the solar beam the other way, right, with the Mew.
Absolutely. Now using the Unite move is Flareon to try and hyper voice through and give themselves a little bit of sustain, but ultimately not going to find much value in that, and that's a valuable resource that's just gone for some of these Reggie fights that can break out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's happening on the side of Juicers is they are stalling as much as they can. They know they can't fight Nem because they just don't have either Garchomp or Tyranitar online yet, and they would absolutely love to have that so they could make some big plays.
That Pupitar is on a mission to try and find this Tyranitar, and they evolve right in time in the opposing central. Metallic back the other way, keeps Machisler from resetting, and now they're going to work as the Tyranitar knocks out Yeet in their own central. Rex is leashing them around, waiting for LGC to pull up for the smoke and help them. Zugrug working back through the middle with Flareon's. Kratos is so low, you got to get this knockout, Metallic. They do. Okay, now you got to settle in and focus up because we're entering what? The mid-game.
That's right, the mid-game, and as many of you know, Doobsnacks has been incredibly critical of Nemesis' mid-game, and let's face it, they had a real tough one last time as this Regice is getting hit. Zugrug getting pushed out of this fight right here. Regice being chipped. There isn't great secure on the side of the Juicers. Here comes the big-time Unite move. They're looking to make something happen. The Wood Hammer stops it, but no, they still are able to pick it up.
That was the most heart-pounding secure I've ever seen, and Nemesis is like, okay, you got to feel good about that. Machisler goes straight at them, though, forcing out some Unite moves back the other way, but it's 2 players down instantly. Azenville goes down as well. Roland just seeing where everybody's at. Yeet sitting on Pag and have to fire some solar beams just to get some spacing and time, but the levels now are in the hands of the Orange Juicers.
I gotta say, Yeet's Venusaur has been absolutely unbelievable. Nailing those solar beams, pretty amazing boosteds right into it, great Giga Drains, and then this Unite move has just been a game changer for them. Yeet's Venusaur is a thing of beauty, and we saw Venusaur last year at NAIC be the difference maker.
Absolutely, and they're looking to repeat performance here because they need it. They lose this one, Nemesis is gone, falling short again, and they want that hardware. We've said it 1,000 times. Hoopa Unite right on the pad, and here come the Juicers. Meanwhile, Nemesis is up top, so Azenville has to recognize that they're giving this up and not give themselves up in the process, as all of Nemesis is now looking to push in this Regieleki, and they're pulled through by the Hoopa portal.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard fight, right? You're going to be running into a Tyranitar up here. I don't really know if there's much you can do. Tyranitar on a tier 2 at 4 minutes is just such an unbelievably difficult fight, and I think Nemesis recognizes this as well. They're moving in with the Unite move from the Crustal, seeing if more members of Nemesis are going to push forward here, and they do. Unite move from Venusaur, but really doesn't find much at all.
Man, that was a couple Unite moves, and I know we're at the 4-minute mark, so you kind of want to use them or lose them, but like, why was Asinable that far up? They knew LGC was peeling away and no longer in the mix for that. Why are they up there getting knocked out? They get sorted out, and that forces LGC to feel like they have to engage. They get knocked out in the mid-game, again, going sideways for Nemesis, as the Orange Juicers are feeling the flow. They're picking up steam, they're picking up pace, and Machisel now is fighting with Zugrug on their back. Portal is down, and Machisel even makes it out.
Yeah, Machisel makes it out, and look at these levels, by the way, Dupes. Next, 12, 12, and 12. Sylveon, Garchomp, Tyranitar on the sides of the Orange Juicers. They're doing really well this game, in control in a lot of different ways, and one of the biggest being the levels, of course. Scoreboard, very, very close between these two teams. Tier 1's up for both of these teams as well, as we have Metallic looking to fight here at this Tier 1 goal zone, and the rest of Nemesis is here to help.
The control that they had, it feels like it's slipping through their fingers a little bit. They're feeling the pressure. They're starting to shake. Nemesis was not making these types of plays before, and they're almost getting really punished for them. Fortunately, Metallic makes it out there. We're under the 3-minute mark, Springs.
Yeah, under the 3-minute mark. 1 minute away from Rayquaza. Could be the last Rayquaza that either of these teams see competitively until Worlds, because if Orange Juicers can win this thing, they become your North America champions here, as we have the massive Sand Tomb attack here from Tyranitar.
And they reset real quickly back out. Good Solar Beam coverage, but Orange Juicers is going to have the advantage around this Regieleki. We're moving up, 225. We're looking to scrap too. Happening the Trevenant, going straight into the action. Tons of targets hit, secured by Orange Juicers. Now they're pushing pad. They haven't taken a knockout here, but they did expend the Trevenant Unite resource. Eldegoss Cotton Cloud Crash hasn't ticked online either. 10 seconds here, and that thing's on the doorstep. It's going to hit, so we've got some double point action. 5 seconds till Ray.
And here we go. Rayquaza is about to hit the map. Phalanx in a little bit of trouble. Getting horn leached over to the Trevenant, but Trevenant's incredibly low. Here comes the Unite move from Phalanx, and Trevenant is somehow able to make it out through the hoop portal.
Rayquaza right there. Solar Beam clutched out by Yeet. Clutched out by Yeet. Nemesis dreams are remaining intact. KO streak of 2 for LGC, but we've got the Hundo Burger on the backside. Rolling gets the spacing, and Rolling eats some sun to the teeth for a little bit of whitening, and Orange Juicers are watching this amazing game slip between their fingers off the back of a Solar Beam.
Insane. Everything was happening so fast, and then in some ways everything was happening so, like, you saw it coming a million miles away, and at the same time it was moving so quick. Nemesis right back in this tournament. What a play by the Juicer. The Hoopa portal. Trev was going to go down, and then all of a sudden they're at Rayquaza, and Yeet fan from the Reddit bush comes out with the Solar Beam.
Brother, they eliminated Luminosity and said, Lutano, your kitchen is now mine. You fire Solar Beams from top left Ray pit. I can do that too, brother. Saving the game in similar shades of Lutano, but it's Nemesis giving themselves some life, and now they're taking all the bodies. They snatching them chains with them, and they're getting another one. Might as well go for the whole pack if they can sort out Rolling at the finish line. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. The whole team is scrubbed.
Nemesis is right back in this tournament. When things were at their most bleak, they found the sunlight through that Solar Beam. Huge play. Look at the scoreboard at the top. It can't even contain it.
we out here, baby. That is our first 4-digit scoreline that you and I have seen today, and we've come pretty darn close in some of these matchups. Holy yeet, I'm a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they ever needed a victory, if they ever needed a moment, that was it right there, bringing it right back. You actually can see a bit of a smile cracking on the face. Look, they're behind, they're down, but they are not out. They are in this tournament. They are that good, and they found a moment right here, and this moment could rattle the Juicers.
This is exactly the type of situation that kind of feels like game one was the other way, right? A team kind of feels dominant, feels moving forward. I don't want to say going through the paces, because I think that they're playing particularly well, but like you said, you could see Yeet from a mile away, dude, and had all the time in the world to line that thing up, and the time they used was on a sundial, because they fired that Solar Beam straight down the corridor and nailed it.
Here we go. Orange Juicers still one game away from winning this entire thing and becoming your champions in North America. Nemesis, on the other hand, can still do it. They have 2 games that they need to win in a row right here, but they're playing great today. In fact, if you would have watched that first series, you would assume Nemesis was probably going to 3-0 this reset. They're playing that good.
They really, really are. Both teams are kind of finding their own groove now. Now it feels like where maybe the Orange Juicers were on an upswing or had the wind in their sails, right, has kind of turned into a back and forth. Problem for Nemesis in that, if this is a back and forth, you can't give Orange Juicers another one because they're just leaving with the hardware.
That's right. They'll take this whole thing as we see another first pick on Phalanx, Zug on the tree, Roland on Hoopa.
Oh,
you know,
man.
a lot of things are looking pretty similar here in game number 4.
Oh, I mean, Kratos going straight to Tyranitar, and I don't know. I mean, Spraggles, what are we watching? I mean, we're watching a repeat situation.
Yeah, they love it.
I don't know why Trainer would come off Glaceon now. Like,
I don't think they would.
Straight run it back, right? 3 games consecutive. The only difference being Sylveon versus Mew.
And, you know, to be fair, the Juicers had some great fights throughout that, so they're obviously enjoying what the Sylveon's bringing. We're going to have to see if there's any switch up from the Machisler. There could be, but they've been loving this Garchomp, and they do. It's time to bring out the Lapras.
Lapras is going to go to Zugrug, of course. Trev going to roll top in the hands of Machisel. So the Garchomp may be offering them something, but it wasn't quite the recipe for success that they thought it would be. I think you can maybe get a little false sense of security because you won the first time you played it, or you won the first 2 times you played it. So you go back to that well to see if you can make that magic happen 3 consecutive times. But I like this switch up.
Yeah, I like it as well. We're going to have to see. They've had a couple unconventional picks. I would say Garchomp's pretty unconventional. Not bad. We're just not seeing a ton of it in the meta, right? And we're seeing Lapras less and less in ranked for sure. We've seen a few teams bringing out really believe in it here, especially in North America. I've seen a decent amount of Lapras.
Yeah, Soup Chef's Lapras looked really good this morning. That just feels forever ago at this point.
Yeah, doesn't it? That was 2 power outages ago. That's how we measure things around here.
Yeah, how many power outages ago was that? Yeah, I mean, Soup Chef looked great on it, and Zugrug has kind of been a consistent believer in it too. So seeing that in their hands, I mean, why not? I mean, throw at least something different in the mix to try and make this thing break your way.
Taking a look at that shot there. That's the Sprigatito that overlooks our stage from the analyst area. You can see the big stage. You know, we've talked about it. We do talk about it a lot, but there's so much pressure when you're playing up on that stage in front of the live audience. Things are so different than when you're playing at home from your bedroom on your Switch.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. And these players are stepping up to the occasion and they're relishing it because they are putting us on blast. We are wading through it in these grand finals.
And here we go. Things are looking pretty good up at this top path from Machisel, securing a decent amount of that, already at 8 Eos energy right there. Not able to make a score happen, however, as these teams are now going to pull back. Down to our bottom path right here. We've already got the level 4 on the Sylveon, so they can get real aggressive.
Yeah, Azimuth stepping forward. Trainer actually jumping to the bottom path rather than the top, but it feels like it was kind of sussed out as there's 3 players for the Juicers here as well. Zugrug just throwing the whirlpool around them, going back towards their side of the map. Flareon's getting bullied a little bit by their Eevee counterpart. Yeah,
a little bit of bullying happening there from the Glaceon, but again, until that Glaceon hits 6 and gets freeze dry, it just doesn't seem to do enough damage. It doesn't have enough pop with that move just yet to pick up as many easy KOs as it does later. Looking to see if Hoopa's coming back here. It does look like they are moving back forward, and we have a nice secure here. Machisel now evolved into Trevenant.
Rex just going to force Roland to use another portal for themselves rather than be with the team here, and rolls back through. So Roland, no fear, sticking in the pocket, sticking in the path, and being a presence and the eyes for the Orange Juicers.
We can see the Juicers sending their Tyranitar back to that central area here. Going to try to clear as much of that as they can before we have the fight right in the middle of the map there for those 8-minute Altaria and Swablu that spawn.
All right, Metallic Machisel squaring down yet again for another game. Flareon's getting pressured a little bit. Hyper Voice backwards to make sure they don't get collapsed on there through the portal. Is this going to be a big-time skirmish at 8 minutes? Kratos needs these, right? They want to get to Trainer quickly, and they get a ton of them too, Spraggles.
Yeah, it looks like they got a lot of that there. Trainer now only sitting at 6. We have the level 7 Tyranitar on the other side. Luckily, Trainer doesn't need as much experience on that Glaceon, but they would love to be a much higher level now. Early Unite moves from these evolutions could make a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely, because the whole goal of the Eevee is, right, to get ahead, stay ahead. But if they're behind the Tyranitar, that is tough sledding for Trainer LGC.
Yeah, and here we go, pushing towards this top path here. We're going to see if there's anything the Juicers can do right now. They might just be looking for some experience up here. We've got 2 members of Nemesis down in this bottom path. They're going to have a much better time trying to get some of this XP right here. And it looks like they're able to get a decent amount of it.
Yeah, evolved into Venusaur is Yeet. Nice cutoff by Azumarill to keep Zugrug from getting on top of Yeet, going straight in for a Giga Drain, just stepping right into the Hyper Voice. Solar Beam pegs them both. Half HP on each side as the 7-minute mark is here. Basement Reggie is going to populate, and Azumarill can't quite trap Zugrug.
You know, when you see Yeet on this Pokemon, it really does feel like it's shocking that so many teams have kind of moved away from Venusaur. It was a huge thing in NA for a while for sure, but now we look up towards this top path. We have the Tyranitar. There's the level 9. They're pushing onto this Alecki, and they can jump forward with the Sand Tomb at any moment.
Roland goes for the stun, secured by LGC. The passive, the Eevee saving them there as Glaceon's going to make it back out. So they tape the objective here, and Yeet steps up, but Machisel kind of susses it out, puts a lot of damage onto Venusaur.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be able to defend this pretty well. The Sand Tomb is down, sending him back to the portal. Metallic, however, on a solo mission down here for this Regirock, seeing what they can make happen. Azumarill trying to defend it right here. Huge Rock Tomb, but there's still some HP left on this Regirock. He's looking for the secure. No, taken by Metallic.
Metallic gets it done, and it was rightfully theirs. They put all the work in. It'd be a shame to pass it off to final seconds here. But now they're trapped. Kratos is all over them. Metallic peeling back. No retreat, but flailing backwards as Azumarill steps up, and I think they might pay the price. No, they're able to make it out. Nobody willing to converge on top of them. Yeet, however, getting trapped a little bit by Kratos, and that Giga Drain is not enough, as now we have just a little bit of a T-Tar Unite, and they're looking for more targets. Are they going to press on top of this pad? Maybe. The portal reset is there. They're all going to take it through, and they come in straight back. They want the smoke. Metallic's there for the pickup. Tons of damage rained in, and they are all over them. Trev Unite is popped, and now is the push going to continue? Yes, it is. Machisel refuses to leave.
Yeah, they're just continuing this push right here, but it is not working out for the Juicers, giving up a lot of experience in that push. It stopped looking good for a while. Here comes Zugrug with a big-time Lapras Express.
I mean, Lapras Express is there, but they're just trying to protect this goal zone. And that bad pad push was brought to you by the mid-game.
It's a big old mid-game moment where teams are letting some big plays happen. Dupes next.
Yeah, big. Yeah, real big.
Big
up top,
plays.
Metallic getting bullied a little bit by Machisel, but feeling pretty good as their levels are solid here. Rex to support a little bubble beam Lapras action.
Yeah, it's a build that you don't see a ton of, and I want to see how it plays into Nemesis. I want to see what it does to Phalanx. I truly don't know how exactly this interacts with Phalanx. I do know how Sand Tomb does, though, and it's pretty mean.
Metallic being able to make it out of them just shows the mobility that Phalanx has and why it's so good, similar to Gyarados being able to bounce in, bounce out. But they're going straight towards the target here. Regilake's at half, a Trev Unite popped on top. Machisel looks for target. Glacial stage is set, Trainer goes straight in, secured long range, Solar Beam by Yeet. They were on a different continent when that happened. Azumarill pops their Unite move, Rubble rousing straight on Kratos. Solar Beam, tons of damage, and they're taken down by the Crustle.
Yeah, I mean, this Solar Beam, this Venusaur, between its Unite move and its Solar Beam combination here, we've had some huge secures. I think last game, looking at that Rayquaza, that might actually have even been the Unite move that takes it, but between that combo, we're seeing huge KOs and huge secures for Nemesis.
Metallic moving through, nice Hoopa portal by Roland to bring the squad down on this Regice. And Zugrug is going to have to be responsible for spacing here because there's nothing that this Nemesis squad would like more than to take that Regice out from under them. They're a little late here, but since they're all sitting on pad, you can't push.
Yeah, and here we go. We see our teams moving forward towards this Tier 1 goal zone. 127-35. Nemesis in control of this game score-wise, but with these Tier 1s up, it really is anyone's game, as we actually have the move in with another Lapras Unite move.
Yeah, and Kratos actually going straight in, and they're going to pick up LGC. Between the Lapras and the Tyranitar, there's not much that Glaceon could do. Asbel now caught in a bubble beam and getting knocked out, so you're seeing some value there. Solar beams from Heat, pot shots getting thrown in, but the points go in regardless. However, Nemesis holding on to the score lead right now.
Yeah, Nemesis still ahead right here, but we've got some full pockets on the side of Orange Juicers moving up towards this Tier 1 goal zone, and a big 50 cap would bring this game a whole lot closer, and you're going to see that happen right about, almost that solar beam stopping it right there. That would have been huge to bring this game really, really close for these two teams. Right now, the Juicers are behind, but they're looking pretty good level-wise. However, Nemesis, nothing to sneeze at. A level 13 Venusaur on the other side. That's going to be a lot of solar beams.
Zugrug with some good positioning here, very forward, actually leaves their bush and tries to target out where Azabel is and actually gets trapped behind the rock tomb. No Tier 1 goal zone to pivot to and try and score for Zugrug.
Here we go. Rayquaza spawning in just a couple of seconds right now. Nemesis absolutely needs this, your purple team. If they are not able to win this thing, their tournament is done and your Orange Juicers become your North American champions. Zugrug pushing forward. They're just looking for the moment where they decide to fight right here. Getting the reset through the hyperspace hole. They are behind, but we have Tyranitar making a sneaky play and a back cap on this bottom Tier 2. This is going to put the Juicers up as we see them moving in. Here comes the Phalanx Unite.
Phalanx Unite, they're trying to chase down Zugrug. Can they get some of these players down? Tyranitar is going to be able to backdoor them. We're going to go straight for an engage right on top of Rex. We're after that action now, popping Unites everywhere. Hyperspace hole is down as anybody can reset through. Azadel actually hit the Rubble Rouse to make sure they didn't get taken out by the Tyranitar. But the Tyranitar, much like the Sand Tomb, sandbagging their Unite move for themselves. Tyranitar back in the cut though, as they're in there. Hyperspace hole is down again. They're going to be able to catch a reset after using their Unite move, Spragos. Now they need to find a target. Azadel can't quite wall him off in time, or we're scrapping on the backside. Zugrug eats a solar beam, and Metallic has to peel back. They might have gotten popped out of the hyperspace hole. No, they catch the reset. Trevenant catches a couple, and now it's all the Machisel going for it. We're stunning and punching. We're moving forward. 2 players down for Nemesis. Orange Juicer sees that this whole thing's on the line. They just need to sort out Yeet and Trainer. Solar beam comes through, but another player down. Rex on the backside. They're going for scores. 295 to 177.
This game is slipping through the fingers of Nemesis. There's not much time on the clock. They are starting Rayquaza. They have some incredible secure, but here comes the Tyranitar looking for the Venusaur, and they take it down. 25 seconds left. They need to make a play, but every single thing they do is being countered by the Juicers. Here comes Tyranitar looking for this Glaceon. Only 15 seconds left, and the rip has begun on Rayquaza. It could be the last 10 seconds here of their tournament life. 10 seconds on the clock. There's nothing Nemesis can do. They are behind, and they are out of this thing. Orange Juicers become your North American champions!
Getting it done, bell to bell, seeing the writing on the wall, taking a fight, putting the trust in Tyranitar, back-capping, and had Kratos step back through to snuff them out. Orange Juicers putting the real squeeze on Nemesis. Pulp up, gang, pulp up.
Nemesis sent them, they sent Nemesis, down to this loser's bracket. Nemesis come back up to face them, and they look like the final boss, taking them down in this bracket reset. And then we saw a different Orange Juicers once this thing reset right here. They're able to take this series away from Nemesis.